Hey guys, how's it going? Hello, Peter. How you doing? We can skip right into this. So this is a pretty long one. I don't know if you can see the timestamp. Yes, you can. So we might skip past some stuff that doesn't interest us. So let me know what interests you guys when you get in. Other than that, you'll just see me skip past what I don't like. But just in an attempt to get both done, because we're doing two today. This one, and then the future game show. The future game show's nice and quick. It's like 2 hours. But this is a lot of demonstrations and stuff. So yeah, and there's a lot of games and all that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty long one. That's why I don't know if you noticed on the YouTube channel that the future game shows is scheduled for almost midnight. Yeah. It was so that I for sure had it up and on stream prior. So if you're on YouTube, which I can, I know Peter is, this'll end and then we'll start up a new one.
Where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors. The biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. And we're just getting started. Ready to jump into some gameplay? Then get set for Gamescom Opening Night Live, featuring the major announcements and brand new game trailers. Less watching, more playing? Then stop by Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from beloved indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indies, our show featuring the hottest new titles from the scene. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom cosplay contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community
I'm
experience.
actually, it's funny because initially when they announced it, a couple of years ago when they were announcing like the trilogy, and which must have been actually more than a couple of years ago since we're well into War Within, but when they announced the trilogy, I was really hyped for Midnight. Midnight was my most anticipated, but now, no, they are gonna have to show me some gameplay. Yeah, and some real damn good gameplay, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have not liked WoW since the end of Legion. BFA I kind of put up with, and then BFA is when our channel boomed as not like seriously boomed, but it's when I got a good hit on the channel and we got more noticed as a WoW creator. So I felt like I had to at that point, right? I was ready to quit at the end of BFA. And then Shadowlands came along, channel was still growing more, and the pandemic happened, right? So I just kept going. And then Dragonflight's my least played expansion. Like, I stepped away a bit in Dragonflight. I was still, like, logging in, most days, but I was not logging in for, like, 8 hours like I usually do. And War Within, I'll give it this. It's been better than Dragonflight. I don't really have too many complaints with the War Within, but I think it's because they've worn me down over the years, right? I've been dealing with so many bad expansions that I think I'm just numb to it now. And yeah, I have not pre-ordered. I'm just gonna say I'm pondering it. I was pondering it before we even got yesterday's announcement. Yeah, I'm tired of the hamster wheel we're sitting on, and I hate to use the word quit, but let's just say don't be surprised if maybe one happens, you know? Or at the very least, I just step away from doing content on it. Yeah, because I think we're at that stage where I'm starting to get more and more like numb to the bad expansions, which means I'm caring less, right? Like in Dragonflight, that's when I stopped caring about my mount collection. Then this mount event came around and I'd already been farming for like years. I'm pretty much caught up when it comes to like dungeon and raid mounts anyway. And you know, yeah, I can just keep collecting things in the game, but there's the hamster wheel. That's exactly like, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. And then one major thing in particular to Midnight is that I could care less about player housing. So, yeah, and player housing's such a big thing. Like, have you seen that pack that they're selling? You get next to nothing in comparison to what you get with the Epic pack. Like, it's just basically your normal stuff with like the basic and the whatever the second one is, the first and second pack. And then the third pack, it's like a crap load of fucking player housing shit, right? And extra mounts and all that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I think, you know, best case scenario, we're already playing less, you know. Like they've already kind of made me stop caring. It was a gradual process. It was expansion after expansion. You know, it's been a gradual process, but I think they've officially worn me down. I was very excited for Midnight, but I need to see more, especially the mounts. Yeah, this will be my last expansion if it's not good. I mean, I got the mount I always wanted, so I'm kind of good. Right? Yes, you got it was Spectral Tiger, right? Or no. I said that the last time too, I think. Yeah, it was Azulian, wasn't it? Yeah. Me too. You know, there's no real mounts that I feel I need in the game, and honestly, like, I don't know if it's just me, but I think it's pretty sad that, you know, I'm almost at 1,000, you know? Like, I'm just gonna say, like, I don't think that number should even exist for mounts in the game. Yeah. So, so yeah. Well, it was nice watching. Hey. You can't just disappear. That doesn't end streams or anything. Yeah, it's just my thoughts right now. And yeah. Even like even like right now, I haven't really been in WoW in a couple of days at least. And which normally would be nothing, right, for someone, but you know, season did just start. Yeah. The raid was fun though. Like, don't take that as this season sucks so far or anything. The season's been good so far. But once you get thinking about the hamster wheel thing and you're tired of it, then it really demotivates you to really do any more progress. Like, that's the problem with WoW, is that now that I'm really like tired of them putting me on this fucking hamster wheel. Like I you know, I got a job. I don't need another in a video game, you know? Like you know? And I've been on that hamster wheel for 21 years now. So just the hamster wheel didn't seem like a hamster wheel in the beginning. But as far as streams, no matter what, it doesn't end streams. You know, I do have a ton of games on Steam, and yeah, that's why I like that a lot of the viewers do play other games. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the ones we're gonna lose are the ones that only play WoW. Yeah, those are the viewers we're gonna lose when when I make that decision, because you know it's coming one day. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. This patch is okay, but still, like, it's so small. Only exciting out is the raid. That's because they time gate so much shit. Another thing I hate that they do, like, just, you know, either release it or don't release it, you know?
And creator events at the Gamescom event arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website, Gamescom.
Got a new job, which is 8 to 4:30, and I'm getting married soon, so I doubt I'll have a lot of time for midnight.
While you're there,
yeah, there's that too. And you know, they need to start thinking about the fact that some people do have lives, you know? Like, and even if you don't, eventually you will. Eventually your life does change around. And, you know, a lot of gamers go from gaming nonstop to, you know, getting married or whatnot. I was kind of the opposite. My like busy life was at the beginning. Yeah, at the beginning, I was, single mom and working like two and a half jobs. I had two full-time jobs and a part-time job back then because I was single mom. I needed, multiple jobs to provide everything. And yeah, and I still managed to play a decent amount. It just had to be around their schedule, around their sleeping schedule. But point is, I was the opposite, my life was at the beginning of WoW, and now things have kind of calmed down a bit. Although I've started adding some things into my life to like make it crazy again, I guess, but yeah. But point is that they need to realize that one majority of your crowd is older people, and that can be 30 plus, really. Yeah, like not many young people are gonna put up with the systems in WoW. There's much better games out there for a young person. The ones that put up with it are the ones that are already like in it, like if you're not already kind of hooked, committed, progress has started for multiple years. Like, yeah, because I'm just saying, if I didn't have the progress I do right now, we would quit a long time ago. I've stayed a lot because of, oh, I don't want to screw up my progress. I'm this close to that, and I'm this close to that, right? Like, if that didn't exist, I would have been gone, probably BFA. That's why I'm just a mount collector. I don't have time to get the sword of this or this gear or M plus rating and dungeons. I mean, hey, I pay for my carries. I have no regrets. Your money is your money, right? Like everyone's gonna have their own thoughts on that aspect. But, the thing is, carries wouldn't be popular if people didn't pay for them, So there is a demand for them, Clearly some people do pay for them. Yeah. I never have. They're also pricey. Every time I'm even like, "Oh, I wonder if maybe I'll just get this mount and then I don't have to farm it for the next 5 years." And then it ends up being like fucking 5 million gold, and I'm like, "Nope." Nope, I'm okay with the 1%. It'll give stream some content. So the new mushroom troll area was data mined back in the War Within beta. I'm surprised seeing it now. There's lots of stuff like that. Lots of stuff they just don't even use. And lots of like, the thing is, data mining is just looking at the data, right? Like, yeah, a lot of things that, Wowhead and other places, talk about when things are in a PTR, they're just in the database. They like a lot of those they don't even see, right? Yeah. It's like telling someone that, a place might start selling this. Actually, no, not even, because they make you, they word it to where you think it's gonna be. They'll be like, oh, this is coming out in 11.2. So they don't even say might. They make it so that you believe that it will come out. And yeah. So a lot of that shit's fake. Yeah. So then you end up seeing it get used later anyway. Yeah. That's why in the news videos that I do, I research shit myself. Yeah, because I've never trusted Wowhead. I've never trusted any other WoW websites. Yeah. I've always researched that shit myself.
The most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course,
need the AC on.
Hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, AP, crashing the party.
Man, we haven't even gotten past this intro yet.
RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us. Our initiative, Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
Gamescom 2025 is here. Today on IGN's Gamescom studio,
heard you were rounding up some Vault Hunters.
Oh, Borderlands 4.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Where Winds Meet. Ninja Gaiden 4, and so much more. Day one of IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2025 starts right now.
Welcome to Gamescom Studio 2025. I'm Jane Douglas here with Brian Altano and Max Scoville. Welcome to Gamescom.
Hey, Gamescom! We're doing it.
Last night's opening night live kicked off the show with a bunch of awesome new trailers and reveals, and over the next few days we'll be getting an even closer look at some of the biggest games right here on Gamescom Studio, including Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, and so much more.
Lego Batman looks incredible, and we cannot wait to talk to the people making it this week. If you see a game that you like on our Gamescom show this week, show some love to the developers by wishlisting their game on Steam through the official Gamescom Steam event, and also discover tons more games that are also worth checking out. It's a great place to track all of the biggest game announcements coming out of Gamescom.
The best way to do that?
Let's check in with Damon on the stage.
Like, I always write mine down, but the best way to do that is wait till the very end. Wait till the show is over, and then you can do it all in one shot.
For a look at what's coming up next.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Today is the exhibitor day here at Gamescom, which is sort of the calm before the storm, but as the week goes on, things are going to get absolutely crazy out here.
As in, wait till Monday.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7. After that, we're going hands-on with the upcoming portable Xbox, the ROG Ally X. Then we're talking to the folks behind the big new third-person action game Where Winds Meet, and then we're talking to the creators of the Capcom action sci-fi game Pragmata. All that and more right here on Gamescom Studio, but right now, let's check in with Ian out on the show floor.
Well, welcome to Gamescom.
I always end up wish
2025.
listing
It's
like
a brand new
30.
show, and for the half a
At
million
least it
people
feels like
expected
that.
to pass through its gates, there is plenty of games to play and plenty of things to do.
See, if
right
I say
here
fuck
on
it
the
to
show
WoW,
floor,
we
including
might actually get
ROG
through those
Xbox
games.
Ally. Or is that the ROG Xbox Ally?
We shall
or
see.
Just the Xbox Ally? I don't know. But what I do know is that later on we'll be chatting to its developers. And we'll also
I almost said
out the
fuck
big
it like a couple of
Capcom
days
threesome.
ago, but
That's Onimusha, Where
I
the
just
Sword, and
kind
of
of
course,
recently
Resident
paid for
Evil
a new
Requiem.
sub.
So if
Yeah,
you want to
and
find out what we
a
think of
12-month
those,
one
make sure
at
to stay
that.
tuned
So
to IGN.
so yeah, that's the reason I held back.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Later this year, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is taking us back to
Because
the
my
future,
sub
picking
is
up 10 years
still good
after
till
the
like
events of Black Ops
April.
2 in the year 2035. Here to give us a history lesson on the not-too-distant future,
But
Associate Creative Director Miles Leslie of Treyarch,
on the
and
pre-orders,
Natalie Pahorski, lead
here, let me
producer for
pause.
Raven.
On the pre-orders, it says before June. My sub ends in April, so maybe that'll be perfect timing. You know, maybe that'll be right before that shit releases, and then done. And that's what WoW does for me. Me too. And it's like, you know, as you guys know, I love my WoW, and I always will. But I kind of take this as a blessing. You know, like the expansions have been bad for a while. We're now really going into pussified mode because we got player housing coming in. We've got even more cutesy shit going on. And like we've been in pussified mode, but we are really in it now once player housing comes out, right? And they're gonna bring, you know, there's early access for that. So we're gonna have that in 11.2.7, right? Which I think is kind of silly. I think like that's a major feature of Midnight. I think we shouldn't be able to touch it until Midnight's released. But, you know, point is it's the perfect time to quit. Yeah, if there was ever a time, it is before this player housing comes out. Yeah. Especially since store. Yeah. If I think I spend a lot on the store now, yeah, that shit is gonna like skyrocket with player housing. Yeah, that is gonna become my Disney game where, you know, where there's like $80 worth of new shit on the store every week. So yeah, it's just kind of the perfect time. But then on another side, I'm like, well, what's the point of even keeping on going if that's my plan anyway, is to leave, you know? Like, yeah, it's like I haven't officially uninstalled it because of me still having time on my account, but it's like, what does it matter? You know, maybe I just ripped that time, just, you know, cut my losses type deal. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Or maybe I just go play some classic WoW with that time instead. You know, that could be an option. Because classic WoW is a lot more casual. I won't feel like I'm progressing towards anything really, other than like levels. So it'll be, and I really, my thought process really kind of got a little heavier when they started talking more on the Legion remix, because I really don't want to do Legion remix. Like, I really don't. I love Legion, don't get me wrong, but Legion was a crazy fucking expansion. I'm tired of them, like, you know, doing more FOMO through remixes that, like, yeah, I just, you know, and there's going to be so much going on with that. You're going to feel like you can't do anything else. And then that just reminds me of the hamster wheel. Yeah. And I'm just tired of it. Yeah. I'm so pissed with Classic WoW. Why? What did Classic WoW do?
Welcome, folks.
Oh,
Excited to
thank
be
you.
here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All right, so Black Ops 7.
I struggle with Classic WoW a bit because I'm like, well, what's the point? I've been here. I've been playing the game 21 years, you know? Like why do I play Classic WoW? Like if I'm gonna quit retail, I might as well just quit it all. Yeah. Like let's be real. Even if you are a classic Andy, retail is the real game. That is the 2004 version, you know? Yeah, yes, it has changed along the way, but that character that you made in 2004, that character's sitting on retail, which will always make retail the real version, whether people like it or not. Whether it's been dumbed down or changed, it's still always the real version. I'm always wanted the celestial mounts, and they finally added them in Classic WoW. Yes, I remember years ago you were talking about that, and when they announced the classic mop, yeah, I definitely was thinking of you then because I remember you mentioning them. And you know what? You should go do it because there has been talk of them possibly allowing you to swap your mop account to retail. So you should do it just in case. If you're interested in still getting those. Yeah. If it was me, I would do it just in case. Even if it ends up being a waste of time, I would totally do it. Yeah, because they have sent out polls to people asking them if they would like to transfer. And damn straight if that transfers, your progress will. Your mounts will transfer with, and yeah. Yeah, I can't wait till the shitstorm when that happens. Because a lot of retail people will be pissed. Because a lot of retail people will not touch Classic, right? And this would have been a reason for them to touch it. Yeah. They will not touch Classic, but they do love their mounts, and they will touch Classic when a mount from Classic goes into retail. So I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so I really hope they make that change because I just want to see the shitstorm that comes from it. Yeah. Because people are gonna be pissed about, shit like the AQ mount and there's been other mounts, dungeon mounts that went away. Like people are gonna be super pissed because they coulda had it.
Bringing back David Mason. So we haven't seen him for a little while, not since Black Ops 2.
And I'm just gonna say, all polls end up being reality. I believe it's gonna happen. Yeah, because every single time Blizzard has put a poll out, like, I don't think they care what the answers are. I think they already made the decision. Because every time they put a poll out, the question they asked is what ends up being in, like, the next version. Yeah. So I think they just make you believe that you have a choice. But I think they've already decided.
We have not.
Why are we bringing him back?
So much story.
They probably
there.
just want a little confirmation, extra confirmation that it would be.
We left David in a really
appreciated,
hard place at the end of Black Ops 2. There were branching storylines, so we've never really confirmed what really happened. Black Ops 7 will really cement that. We're not going to spoil it right now. We want you to get into it. But he's a character that has really deep, really emotional scars, but physical scars and what he went through. And we always knew we wanted to go back to tell that story of after Raul Menendez and the 2025 attacks, what happened to the world and what happened to David. There was so much depth there that it was just right for telling this story with David as sort of the, I would say, the anchor to the story.
Okay. Now, Black Ops has like historically drawn on like mysterious, like actual real historical elements like MK Ultra, numbers stations, various geopolitical events. Where are you drawing your inspiration for Black Ops 7 this time, now that it's set in the kind of future?
Oh, I love that question.
I know. Well, it is the near future, you know, and we're also building on Black Ops 2. So there's sort of an extrapolation of where we'll be in the next 10 years and also where we've been.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We like to tap into the zeitgeist, and I think for us, it's really this fear of really the world on itself is fearful, and really that's being pushed. And Black Ops 7 really leans into that fear is when the world is in a chaotic state and you don't know who to trust, even yourself, which I feel is very, relatable. That's the main story that we're diving into, and you're going to get all your twists and turns and your mind bending like you would expect from Black Ops.
Yeah, now fear has, especially of late, been kind of a theme for Black Ops. And in the recent trailer, we've seen not just fear, but like more of the hallucinatory, like head trippy stuff. Looks a little bit like scarecrow fear toxin type scenario. Can you speak to that? Like, how much psychological horror are we going to have in Black Ops 7?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. I feel like,
can we say?
Yeah. In Black Ops 6, we had a certain mission that was more in that, survival horror realm.
Yeah.
And we had a blast with it. We know players loved it. So part of this is just the thematic storytelling of digging further into that. It allows us to dig into Mason's brain and where he's at. And then part of it is just we had so much fun with it in the past, and we want to bring more of that back.
Yeah, it was a new way, and I think to Natalie's point is we developed BO6, BO7 together, and so we knew where both games were going, and we wanted to make sure they stood on their own as really chunky, big games. And so that fearing you're talking about, yeah, Scaregrow and Batman, it was a huge sort of inspiration on how to mess with people and really bubble up their own fears and regrets and memories. And David and his team and other characters in the game, they get that manifest. They get to experience that, and it's traumatic and also bombastic and blockbuster moments.
Yeah, it allows for a lot of like spectacle.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with that kind of warped reality stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, every entry in the Black Ops series has added something new to the way you play campaign. I want to say maybe here, like Endgame is going to be the big thing for changing up campaign. Can you tell us about Endgame?
We can, yeah. I want to start with co-op campaign on its own. Already huge innovation.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've really done that. This story really demanded that because we wanted to put players into the 4 squad, David and his team, and feel immersed in that. And then to your point is after, it's really sort of, I would say, the final proving ground, the epilogue of the campaign is you get this ending. Everything you've built is now into the end game, and we really wanted to break the rules of the campaign. We've constantly been how to push ourselves and break the mold, and it's a social experience. PvE, you and 32 other players, squads of 4, and all of the abilities and all of the different twists and turns kind of come to a head in this, again, this final proving ground. It's a lot of fun and very different, but on purpose.
Yeah, and then at this point, you've spent a lot of time in Avalon, also outside of Avalon as well, but you're back in Avalon, you know this
looks
map,
good,
you know where you want to
but
go, and it's going to be...
I say that about all
It
the
all
Call of
opens up
Duties,
after
honestly.
that,
They
where,
do a really
through
good
the linear
presentation
missions. You go to Avalon,
pretty much
experience the
everyone.
size of it, but we're really like teasing it, and now it all opens up. Where do you and your squad want to go?
Okay, and you're making progress and you're unlocking things that can be carried over into other parts of the game?
Yeah, so it's really about survival. So we wanted to your point about the mind bending and fear and hallucinations is part of the story. And sort of you saw it in the trailer, you kind of get hit with this toxin and that really starts to manifest these fears. Endgame ramps that up. There are difficulties that you have to progress through, and the fun and challenging part is you and your squad have to push through these difficulty zones and you get to level up. So we have a operator leveling where you can try to get to level 60 and it's about gaining power. And narratively, we have sort of this thing called a C-Link, cerebral link, and it's like basically plugged into your brain where it's learning from your enemies. And so the more you fight, the stronger you get, and you learn from them, and you get amazing abilities. You saw some of this in trailer, like Mega Jump and some other things that really allow you and your squad to get bombastic moments.
Yeah, the Mega Jump's like a multi-story jump, like superpower stuff.
And you can chain it into the wingsuit, right? You can grapple into it. So you start to chain all these things, and that's where you've learned to use these through the campaign. And then now it's like, okay, here's the toy box. How do you want to approach it?
All right. You mentioned co-op. Can you tell us about how co-op is going to be integrated into the campaign? Like, how are you going to manage like difficulty for co-op players?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could dive in if you want to go.
Yeah, I think Endgame is where we get into a bit more of that. But from the beginning, again, we're putting you in with these 4 characters of the story. Yep. We want you all to be experiencing it at the same time, going through these linear missions. And so that's really the focus. I mean, you can the characters and your teammates can focus on a particular area in the gameplay. But that's where that really comes in.
Yeah, and for the difficulty is we've baked it in. So solo players, we've built it for solo or for a squad as well. You cannot pick difficulty like past games. We've baked it in because you have to approach co-op campaign differently. Yep. And we wanted to make sure the missions felt right for solo players. We're not forgetting about you. We love you. But also because it is a social experience, we want to make sure it's fun, but the right amount of challenging for 2, 3, and 4 players as well.
Okay. All right. Switching gears a little bit, we saw a little bit of what looks like Dead Ops in the trailer. What can you tell us about Dead Ops?
Let's see what
I actually
over the top.
Yeah.
You know, on the topic of difficulty, I like when there's no difficulty in a game where everyone's like on the same. Yeah. I nothing against like, you know, games that have like 4 different difficulty levels. Nothing against it, but I like when everyone's on the same kind of difficulty level. Yeah. And then you just have like Game Plus if you want to do like, you know, something after that. But yeah. And to be fair, like, you know, back in the day when it was like that didn't mean games were easy. Like the average game was on what you would call a hard difficulty nowadays. Yeah. So there really was no like easy and normal mode. It just would be around the midpoint. Gotta call it a night, gotta be up for work in the morning. Nice. Yeah, I don't expect everyone to still be here near the end. I'm just gonna say that the future game show will be on the YouTube channel for a VOD. So yeah, because we're probably not gonna get to that for a while. And yeah, I anticipate that there'll only be a couple of us probably around that time. Yeah. But have a good night, Peter. Thanks for stopping in, sharing your thoughts. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah. And honestly, based on you know, I watched their video that they did on the pre-purchase pack. You should see the dislikes on that video. I don't know if you have the extension for dislikes. Yeah, that is more disliked than liked, that video. And you know why I think it is? It's because it looked better than the cinematic that they did on the show here. Like, it looked better than the midnight fucking trailer. Meanwhile, it was a video of, hey, give us $100. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny.
Literally over the top, I like saying that. But
have a good night, really Peter.
Fun. And I think the other major
maybe we'll catch it really tomorrow. I'll be on with this kind of stuff all week.
Time when you're playing Dead Ops, you can progress.
The last one's on Sundays.
And so one of the big things in the game across all of Black Ops 7 is we want to reward the player's time. So it doesn't matter where you are. You're in Dead Ops, you're in Zombies, you're in multiplayer, you're in co-op campaign, you're in endgame. You are progressing your global progression. And that's huge for players because we know they never want to feel like their time's wasted. Yeah. We heard you. Go play with your friends anywhere and you'll be rewarded.
Okay, and Zombies more broadly, it's back, it's round-based?
It's back, it's round-based. It's the biggest RBZ map you've ever seen in your life. It's outrageous. I love saying this because the zombie team's like, hey, the story's crazier, and it's like, crazier? Really? Yeah, like how? They did it. It's outrageous. It's amazing. And then the original crew is back, but not as you would expect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. I just wanted to shout out because we were looking at multiplayer, and you've got a score streak, and it's like a Boston Dynamics robot dog.
Yeah.
Right? I just want to shout that
nailed
out.
it.
It's like that. It looks perfect, but with a turret on it because the original
As you
big
do.
dog
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
have like a mounted.
Yeah,
turret already.
absolutely. That's a good catch, and that's a
Yeah.
sort of a deep cut to the back to the story. Is in 2025, Black Ops 2, we had the Claw, which was like that robotic. This is sort of the evolution of that. Is the dog? Yeah, it has ginormous rockets on it. It's also really cool. It can go in sentry mode, and it has a trophy system on it, so it feels again more like you're connected to that technology, and you and your squad can use it. But it's a beast in the campaign. It's a beast in multiplayer as well.
All right, very cool. Excited for the robot dog. Switching gears once again, right, Tiam, the Battlefield 4 beta has had 500,000 concurrents on Steam. Obviously, a lot of interest in that game, very popular. That's
I
topping
played a
Call of
bit of it.
Duty's
It was
record.
pretty good.
How is Call of Duty going to like stay fresh in the face of like some stiff competition, some new competition?
Yeah, I think for us is we play all games, right?
Okay.
You know, and I'm not going to say we didn't play it. We had fun playing it, but for us is it's focusing on what we do best, and really the passion from the team is coming through in Black Ops 7. I hope that's coming through from the team. We're focusing on our own thing, and you know, when we're having fun and we're listening to the feedback,
Right, as
we
they
think we've got
should. It's
something
Call of
special here,
Duty,
and we
like-
think fans are really going to like it.
All right,
Yeah.
and how is
You got
that,
your fan base. You
success
don't
of
have to
the
really
Battlefield
worry
4
too
beta?
much about
Like, how
Battlefield.
is it affecting your decision making, or is that
Like,
kind
as long
of
as they
aside?
keep
Yeah,
doing
it's
it
not,
good.
right? Like we're focusing on our own thing, so for us, it's like let's stay the course. And
Yeah.
again, where we're iterating and having fun, we know our path and our vision from the game. We've been working on this a while, and we're really just executing on that.
All right, since we're running low on time, what do you have in Black Ops 7 that wasn't possible before, that you couldn't
Ooh.
include ever before?
I love that question. I think,
Didn't include before.
yeah, I think for me, the main one is the social experience for the.
I think they could do better than Battlefield because Battlefield is more designed for the really good, shooters. And Call of Duty, you can be kind of new, to shooters, and like I can play. What was the last one? It's been a while since I played Call of Duty, but like I don't play shooter games all the time, but I'll play them once in a while, and I do hard mode on these games. So they're not like, or is it hard? Yeah, it is. Like I would say like a good going into it is like normal mode, but point is like you can get to know you can get good in Call of Duty.
First
Yeah.
time now, you and a squad of 4 can literally play all parts of the game. And that is something we have
Not
been
that you
dreaming
can't
about,
in
is how to do
Battlefield,
that
but,
when is the
it's
right time to
tougher.
do it. And
Because you're gonna have
we'll literally be in
people,
playtest and be like, let's go play co-op campaign.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, let's take
Killing
a break.
your
and now we're
ass
in
while you're
zombies. Okay,
trying.
let's take a break from that. Now we're in multiplayer. Let's take a break from that. Now we're in endgame. Let's take a break from that. Now we're in DOA. And so it's really amazing.
You can jump around.
You can
yeah.
jump around. And for
Yeah.
us, it was really keeping the squad together because we know this is a community. We want players to stay together throughout the entire game.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all different types of players. We know there's a lot of different players out there. I'm a single player girly, and I got so excited about campaign. I also love that we get to tell a character-driven story. We care a lot about the lore, and we care a lot about our characters, obviously, as you can tell, but being able to focus on these key areas and key memories, all of that is just so exciting to me.
All right, very, very cool. Thanks so much. Thanks for your time today. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 hits all the Xboxes, both the PlayStations and PC on November 14th. But stick around, there's more Gamescom Studio coming up right here on IGN.
Welcome to Gamescom. We're here at the Asus booth to talk to Gal Fu about the new Xbox Ally
Talk
consoles.
up, buddy.
We're super excited to learn more about them. So could you just explain what are the two models and how are they different? Who are they intended to be used for?
Yeah, thanks, Will. So this time together with Xbox, then we're launching two very good models. And the first one is the white
I've
one.
thought about
It's
getting
called
this,
the
but
RG Xbox
I just don't leave the house enough.
offer,
Remember to hydrate.
immersive
Draco just
720p
redeemed
gaming experience
hydrate.
for most of the game
Hey,
titles.
Draco.
And the other one
Actually,
is
I
the premium
gotta
model, the
I gotta
black
grab
one,
my.
RG Xbox
Technically, I
Air
can
X.
hydrate
So
with my
it
coffee, but then I
basically
gotta grab
offers
my
a
water.
superior gaming experience for all the AAA titles in 1080p quality, and also a long
So I'll
battery
do
life.
2
So I
hydrates
think
for you, because
together
that was only like
with
half
both
a sip.
model, then we're trying to penetrate into more of the console part of the market, and also the our strength
Actually, I need to.
PC gamer part of market.
I need to make this
Right now, I
juice.
think based on all the feedback and also the
You interested in any new games they've been talking
also
about
the users,
lately?
we believe that these will be something that definitely people will love to purchase in the holiday season.
See the new models being as more an upgrade option for people that have already got a PC handheld, or do you see it more as something that's exposing to a whole new market and trying to really expand the number of people that consider these devices?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, Will. I think it's both because I think
not yet.
Starting from the hardware perspective and as we ROG, you know, as the hardware expert.
I don't think any of the ones that I've been interested in were necessarily like ones I'd never heard of yet.
I think the first part that you definitely can feel is about the overall ergonomics of the device that inspired by the Xbox controller.
So what are your thoughts on Midnight?
Of the holding, then intuitively
Were you excited
you
for
can
it?
feel this is just like an authentic Xbox experience. So the feel is so good and even better than our previous model, even though based on the community feedback, our ergonomic design of the premium previous model already.
And just worth noting, since we do play together and stuff, like that is the thing that has kind of kept me in there. So don't take my I may quit too terribly seriously. You know, I will always want to just chill with you in WoW.
That is what Xbox they are good at, right? So we're working closely, we're working very hard. Try to get the
so we can always still do things
onto the device. So everything starting from the user interface.
I decided to stop buying games until some of my backlog is cleared. I know, I need to do that. Yeah, that's right, dude. Yeah, I remember a while back you said that you have a rule where you don't add something until you finish one game a year, I think it was. Like you add, for every game you finish, you add one, or I think it was something along the lines of that.
In Gamescom, yeah.
You mentioned the ergonomics before.
Yeah.
Is there anything inside the processor that would require more cooling?
Every 2 games, I buy one. Oh, so you're even more strict on yourself.
Yeah, so I think for this part of design,
the 3 mini raids, they could be good. They'll be good for a casual raider, honestly, because 3 mini raids are easier to find a group for. You know, you don't have to do some huge full clear.
Into 2 halves and then combine into a PC game.
I guess the real question is 3 mini raids is probably 3 like sounds like 3. Yeah, we've had 3 raids in War Within, so it's like raiders might not like that, like heavy raiders, because that is a short raid if it's gonna be in each season individually. Yeah.
Actually, also based on our study and also
but
our
way to,
with the community, it doesn't that
you know,
matter.
clearly
It
it's
doesn't
to
matter
tell
that
a
much,
story,
you know,
but
for those several millimeter thickness, if the overall ergonomic is to another level.
But it could kill raider retention just because it would be quicker.
And also
People would clear it a lot faster. There wouldn't be as much loot to go after because it's less bosses.
About how much? You have an idea?
Yeah, I would say we are still working very hard, you know, with Xbox team to optimize.
Oh, Hogwarts!
Software experience, the gaming experience.
I'm gonna play a little more of Hogwarts. I thought about doing it during your 1 week off, but let me know, you know, if you want to. But you've seen a lot of the Hogwarts, so I figured, because I want to go back to it to 100% it.
Performance leap, you know, from the.
And one of the big things I want to do is replay the houses, because that's a one that I'd like to just kind of get out of the way. So I've been trying to kind of figure out what we're gonna do on the week you're gone.
if when we are thinking about the from the PC,
and you're here
gaming
for
mindset,
like
you know,
all
we're
my
offering
content for the
right now
most
at
part.
this
So I'm
stage that
trying to
everyone
pick
can
things that
just
I think
learn
you
by themselves
probably
an
would
authentic and
prefer
very
to
good
not
gaming
watch,
experience.
you know, like
All right, fascinating stuff. Thanks very much for joining us.
like
And stick with
I
us
already
for more
did
Gamescom
what
2025
how
coverage
many
as
hours
it
do I
goes.
have in Hogwarts? I can't remember, but it's a lot.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly
Probably like
100
100
different films
hours
and
or
approximately
something.
25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films. And before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at
I like movies.
96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV.
Out of my
for more
400
Cinefix
games,
movie
I
lists.
have about
Bad at math,
19%
great at
completion, so I finished about 76 games. You know why? WoW and Fortnite. You play a couple of games that are very seasonal. Yeah. WoW's a big one. Like, there could be no seasons in WoW, and WoW would still hold you back. You know, but adding seasonal.
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for
That's why I'm trying to, like, not have interest in Battle Pass type games anymore.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
The only game that truly holds me back is WoW.
You need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys. Wow!
Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and
Oh, that reminds me. I hope they do a good statue for the... Because the War Within was kind of that statue.
This is Gamescom Studio right here on IGN, where
And if you count the ones I already finished on the other platforms and games, hey, I can't talk over you. Just mute for a minute. But we'll keep it running because it'll take them a bit to get into the game. Try to not make this stream 12 hours. If you count the ones I already finished on other platforms and games that don't actually have endings, I could cut the total games unfinished down to about 250. I have so many games on the other platforms too. Yeah. I guess that's one thing I do like about Nintendo is sometimes I wish they had achievements, but sometimes I'm like, you know, the fact that they don't makes me more casual with their games, you know? And I guess their games are more casual, unless you're playing like Zelda or something. But a lot of like, there isn't really a you've completed, you know, say like Mario Party or something. Like you're just done when you're done. Yeah. But I guess like technically my Donkey Kong is a playthrough. Oh, whoops. I have you muted, not paused.
Very exciting for us, and it's, you know, it's also been a factor in making us decide to push forward the release date to deliver the game earlier to players.
That's always good news. Earlier is always better. How about Black Myth Wukong? What about that game and other Chinese action adventure games has influenced either your game design or your release?
Oh, they're talking about that Black Myth game? I really like that. I might have to play the Black Myth Wukong before I play that one. I wasn't really interested in Black Myth Wukong, but there's a new one that they showed off yesterday. I really liked it.
高兴的看到有越来越多受欢迎的游戏作品的推出，那我们也当然非常希望自己也能成为其中的一员。但是呢，我们产品其实从2019年就已经开始立项了。 那对于这样一个如何把武侠和开放世界融合好的这样的一个挑战，其实是前所未有的。所以我们在这段时间里面，就是一直以来更多的可能会关注我们自己怎么样把这样的一个产品表达好。那其实像中国武侠小说有句话叫做坚守本心，方能成就大道。所以我们一直以来也是想办法如何更多的去完成自己的这样一个挑战的一个命题。
Right. So first of all, I'm really happy for all of the games that all of these amazing games that have been developed and been released and been so welcomed by the player population. As for our own game, we started this project originally in 2019. So a lot of our thoughts were concerned on the
day
idea of
before
how to
I go on a
implement
2-week
wuxia and to have
almost
it,
sugar-free
integrate
liquid
seamlessly
diet,
into
my
the open
mom
world.
gets me a
So,
block
a
of
lot of our
mint
focus
chocolate
throughout the
fudge.
last 5 years has been, how exactly to make the
Well,
game
she
exactly
did
what
it the
we want.
day
And so,
before.
like we like to say back in the day in China, you have to kind of stick by your original aspirations in order to walk the grand path to its end, to have this.
And oh my god, sugar-free liquid. Oh, I'd die. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of sugar in my life, but I do like my coffee in the morning. And I do not drink my coffee black, I'm just gonna say.
Western players to historical figures, innate cultural references, and localization and onboarding.
那好了，因为这个游戏我们知道它时代是发生在第10世纪呢，对于中国玩家来说，可能对于这个时代是会比较。
And then I guess there's my juice. How much sugar is this?
你要怎么样去给他们介绍？通过本地化或者什么翻译的方式去给他们介绍
It
这个时代的一些
has
背
shit. I
景
need
人物
my
还有一些
flashlight.
文化的一些原因啊。
Might look bright in this room, but
首
it's
先
not.
可能我想补充一点，就这个朝代呢，可能不仅说对于很多西方的玩家，可能包括中国的很多玩家对这个朝代的涉猎也比较少，因为它在中国的一些文学作品或者电影电视剧里面改编的数量，对比
Sugar isn't even on here.
宋朝是非常少的。对，所以那我们其实任务呢，我觉得都是
I don't know. It's the crystal light packs, but like there's sugar in it. I can taste it. Like I like this juice, so it's got sugar. If it didn't, I would not like
怎么
it.
样让海外的玩家去理解很多，比如说武侠的或者说朝代的一个背景呢？我觉得其实这里面我们也有很多是玩家给我们的一些建议。对，然后包括可能给您举一个非常有意思的例子，就是我们游戏里面的时间，在中国是用的中国传统的计时，就子丑寅卯，
I know it says
传统的计时方式。但是我们考虑到可能海外的用户比较难去理解这样的一个设计，所以我们把它转换成了动物的形式。
Yeah, I have no idea.
子就对应的是猴子，它就是中国传统的营销。那我们用这样的一些图案去表达。
No, there's no way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it because I taste something sweet in here.
So to dovetail off of the comments you just made, I think it's not just about Western players, but even for Chinese players, I think the 5 Dynasties and 10 States period of time is a very niche period in history because due to the fact that it has less depictions both in terms
Yeah,
of
but artificial sweetener usually kills my gut and it doesn't. I don't know, maybe it's because I don't use a full pack. Like I don't know if you guys saw me mix it, but here's the pack. It's half right now. It's like I don't use a full pack, but I have like a big thing of water, right? It's because I don't really like too sweet, right? So maybe because of that, I don't really. Maybe it doesn't kill my gut since I use less.
To localize all of these cultural, I guess, elements or historic
it's
to them. So, as for instance, in game,
I think it's lemon lime that they call it.
We use a time and hour system that's based on these different characters that correspond to each hour instead of
lemon lime.
So on and so forth. But that turned out to be something that's very hard to kind of.
Did I blind you guys?
So what we did instead is associate.
Are you blinded now?
These hours to a different animal. So these are
Why I thought that would actually work.
Animals that correspond to each year. So that's what we
did. That did nothing for the actual package.
So diving a little bit into the gameplay, the world seems massive.
It says it's 10 calories, but it doesn't have sugar listed on it. It's
好，
this.
那讲一讲游戏玩法方面，我们知道这个游戏的世界是非常的庞大。那么玩家
That
在游
look
戏探
blurry.
索的时候，自由度有多大？
这个自由度其实是我们是非常大的。那当然，我们提供了非常多选择给我们玩家， 就是我们单人游戏大概。
But I think I do remember Crystal Light is like sugar free. I just always don't believe it. But I don't think this is the first time Arsenal's been like, oh, there is no sugar. Like, yeah, I think he's reminded me of that a couple of times in the past because I do like Crystal Light. It's really the only juice I get. And I'm one of those people that like if it tastes better than water and I'm drinking it, I just there's don't matter what the package says. I just believe it. There's sugar. But you said artificials.
Right. So I guess we offer a great deal of freedom in terms of letting the player be able to explore this huge world as they will, and we also give them a lot of choices in this regard. So we know that the single player campaign, it has a total of around 150 hours of content. So none of this is mandatory. You
Can't say the same for my coffee though.
Can, based on their pace and their enjoyment of the narrative, they can choose to play the single player campaign at their own leisure.
I like the coffee creamer, so there's definitely not artificial sugar in there. That's real ass sugar.
Abilities and skills they want to build the kind of the combat mechanics, the type of combat styles that they want. But it also, on top of all of that, it's also kind of exemplified.
Your creamer sugar free?
Are able to interact with non-player characters. So, for instance,
yeah, maybe I should see if mine is.
The internal reputation system that goes along with that. So
I don't know. I feel I'd have to. Yeah, I would notice sugar free on that bottle. Like, yeah, I wouldn't notice that. I don't think mine is. Does it still taste good?
To go ham, to go aggressive on your ass. So this and in
like, does it taste?
You could choose to defend yourself, which could in turn lead to law enforcement.
Because my big thing is that like it can't remotely taste like black coffee. Like that's why I need a little sugar in my coffee.
Angering a lot of people, and just having a bunch of people chasing.
Yes.
Well, with that, so where does Where Winds Meet release?
So it is 0 sugar. I've never really done a huge amount of sugar. There was a time where I guess I used to drink more than I do like 2 cups of coffee nowadays. I've really cut down. Back in, I would say, earlier WoW days, that would be the one and only drink I would drink like all day, all night. You know? So I guess at a point it used to be worse, but I was younger as well, so it wasn't. It wasn't as much of a concern. You know, I was younger, I was a lot thinner. You know, like I was staying fit.
Coming out in November 14th, but you can wishlist it right now on Steam at the official Gamescom Steam event.
Nowadays, it's 2 cups of coffee a day, and then this, and then I try to have my water. Yeah, I get bored of water though, so I do my best to get like the amount they recommend, and then I start turning it into juice after that.
In the Black Forest of...
Tired of cutting cheese? Get the sword.
At the bottom, it's pretty dark in the room, so yeah. But I'll see. Bottom of the package. Well, unless it's on like the actual, yeah, it might be on the actual like package in the box. Let's see. I didn't think about looking there. I don't see it. Not a biggie, like, you know, and the question was answered a while ago. Not a biggie. Not like I can't just Google it. mods flagged that message? Oh, I didn't see. Usually I see a mod alert. I didn't see anything. Yeah, that's the one I usually see. I'm pretty sure it's Automod that usually comes up as a... On my screen it'll be red and it usually fills the whole screen, so like, yeah, I see it on this, but I didn't see anything that time. Oh, okay. Okay, so it probably vanished by the time I looked up, yeah. What message was blocked? The bottom of the box was blocked?
We're here at Gamescom 2025 and we're at the Capcom booth where we've checked out Pragmata, as you can see here. Matt,
Do we care about Pragmata? I didn't really care too much about it, but if you guys did, we'll roll it.
And basically, it's a third-person shooter that's a little bit more weird than you'd normally expect, because you have like this weird kid on your shoulder and she hacks things for you.
Oh, she's an android though, specifically, right? An android.
I'm not even watching.
Kid. Like, it's not kind of child endangerment
all good.
or anything. But yeah, essentially the idea is every enemy has to
honestly
be before you can damage them. Yeah. So the way that this happens
is
you aim down sights,
the definition really of
streams
streams,
on screen, and it's
is
kind of like a small hacking mini game where you have
that
to go
it's
from like
me watching it. You guys just come in and chill with me and maybe watch with me, but yeah,
when that happens,
for
essentially
the most
you're
part,
weapons free and you can damage the enemy with your variety.
I imagine most people
Yeah, so
multitask.
interestingly, I noticed as well, that may sound like intense
know I
to
do.
a person, like having to, before you even fire a shot, having to do this mini game.
And
The enemies,
Draco, were you
well, at least what
interested?
we played are quite slow moving, and Plonso gives you a nice window to like actually focus on the mini game while
I
you're
thought
doing
this
it.
was just chatting.
I think they've kind of had to rethink how shooting works in a third-person shooter. It's not like Vanquish or kind of something like Doom Eternal.
What's
where
this
the way
one?
that they really
Hey, was
thought
that
shooting would
was
work
that
is they
Bruce
sped
Willis?
things up. This actually really slows things down. So from what we played,
Okay,
we
let's
were only
see.
going up
Let's see
against,
what's
like, maybe
next.
2 enemies.
Return to Kuttenberg, where you'll uncover the hidden parts of your father's life. Rise through the ranks and become the master of the Blacksmithing Guild. Unlock unique blueprints for armor and weapons, and help the citizens with some quirky requests as you continue Henry's journey of discovery. Let's take a look.
I have Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've had it for years. Before it even became more popular. I feel like when I bought it, no one really knew about the game. I still haven't played it.
Henry of Skalitz.
Ready? We can begin. The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
Oh, that's why I thought I saw Bruce Willis then. They probably
Talk
showed.
about why it belongs and finally find out where
Yeah.
it ranks.
That makes sense.
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever.
I was wondering why I saw the Joker with Bruce Willis.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with
I
up-to-the-minute
was
gaming
curious
and
of
entertainment
that.
news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Find interesting manga recommendation. Find out all translations have been taken down.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Switched to pre-order Mania. It was chaotic last night.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts, the best podcasts from around the world.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game collection. Now you can even import your entire Steam
Okay,
library.
I think
playlist,
we can
making it
skip
easier
past
than ever
this.
to
We
review
we
games,
know what
show off your
IGN
collection to the
offers
world,
here.
and finally chip away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
Oh, they're getting right into the next one though.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN guides are trusted by millions.
Oh, never mind.
Easy to use, and best of all,
Never mind.
IGN has the very best, most complete.
They have souls in it, as anyone will know from like the PS2 days, but it's not a Souls-like. And I think the great thing is it feels like it has definitely been made for action fans rather than Souls-like fans. And sure, it does have, like, as you say, parries, and it is
The problem is that everyone thinks everything is Souls-like, because Souls-like, by definition, really is just a very hard game. So you throw some difficulty into it, and yeah, that's what makes it Souls-like. That's why everyone just, even I think I even made the comment. I'm like, oh, another Souls game. But the reality is that that's the definition of a Souls game. It's a game that is, tougher than your norm. Yeah.
The parry windows are generous. The block is an omnidirectional block, so even
like
if
most games have block.
all you've got to do is hold
most
down
games,
L1 and you will
yeah.
block behind you. All of these kind of make
Just
you
they
feel
got
more
that
like
tag
you're
because
very
Dark Souls
engaged in a
was
way
kind
that
of
is not quite
labeled,
the same tactical level
one
as
of
a
the
Souls-like,
toughest
but
games
also
out
it
there.
makes that sort of thrill like accessible to a lot more types of players.
Yeah. And like the original Onimusha games that, like you mentioned earlier, there's souls collecting. So from your quick playtime, what did we summarize on how that works?
Right, so there are 3 different colored souls.
Okay.
There are red ones, there are blue ones, and there are yellow ones. The yellow
So
ones
he
are
says
easy.
it's not a Souls game,
So
but
basically, if you can create yellow souls and you can use different weapons to
really,
create
buddy,
different souls
so
out of
you're
enemies.
collecting
So if you can
souls.
create yellow souls, that'll heal you mid-battle rather than having
Okay.
to use a healing pouch. Then there are the red ones, which are your classic kind of, you pick those up and you'll get to spend those, I presume, like
Not
at an
yet.
armorer or an upgrade station. We didn't get to see that in-game, so I can't tell you like what new sword you can get or what new kind of health upgrades. And then you get the blue ones that
Arsenal's just
power your
waiting for it.
meter. Now this is what allows you to do even cooler abilities than just your standard.
Yeah, I
kind of, like,
haven't
attack or
decided
attack.
totally
And these
what
use
I want to
special
do.
weapons that only get used
But I
in
will
that
say I
attack. In the
haven't
demo,
really
we got to
played.
use the 2 Celestials, which were these kind of twin daggers, and their purpose was to drop yellow souls.
Yeah.
So basically collect blue souls to use that special attack, that creates yellow souls that heals you, and you're only going to use that attack against like enemies that are basically doing damage to you anyway. So you start to see that cycle kind of kick in where it's like kill enemies to heal yourself to move on.
Yeah, and as someone who, I mean, we both love Doom Eternal, but someone who specifically loves Doom Eternal, that's a system that you really enjoy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, anything that, it's weird, like this is a game that's like weirdly about managing meters, because every
At
enemy
least
has
on
kind
a
of like
plus,
posture meter, right? Like,
it's the
and so you
one
have to kind of battle
good
through
part
that posture meter to then do
about the
damage
fact
against
that the
them. And you
YouTube
have a
hasn't
posture meter,
grown
they need
to
break
what I
your
would hope
posture
it
before they
would
start
have
doing
grown
big
to
damage
by
on you.
now.
And this sounds
They're
like it's,
allowing
like,
this
quite a
decision for
mathematical
me.
game, like it might be
Yeah.
boring, but
Yeah,
exactly like
if
Doom
we
Eternal,
had ended
in
up
the
being
moment,
like,
you forget about the
I
fact
don't
there's all
know,
of
a
this maths
10K
ticking on in the
plus
background. It just feels really wicked
followed
to
channel.
basically parry an enemy and then
Yeah,
instantly
it
decapitate
would have been
Yeah,
pre-ordered
absolutely.
by now.
And
Yeah.
talking about the posture meter, we
It
got
would
a
have
good
been a
example of that
business
as the boss that we
decision.
got to play in the demo. And we say it's not Souls-like, but from my point of view, like, that sure looks like a Souls boss setup. However, it was like relatively simple to take on. Yet that doesn't mean it wasn't fun.
What
It was
helped is I
definitely
took a
fun,
look
but
at our numbers
the boss didn't
lately,
necessarily pose much of a
and
challenge.
not that they haven't been good. There's been some good videos, but not as good as back when I was doing like Legion content. It's been kind of, I've noticed, and not just my channel, all over the board, WoW has declined on YouTube for
it's got a lot
quite a
of kind of, like,
while.
you're in a small kind of temple area There's a lot of kind of like swipes. He'll do big kind of leaps and come down at you, and you have to defend against them. And basically it is about damaging his posture to the point where you can do kind of a mid-battle kind of, for lack of a better term, death blow, and then you fight through the next posture meter to get to his kind of like defeating blow. And so yeah, there is a bit of that kind of Souls-like element to it, and you certainly, as I say, you required skill. There's a meter in the game which, like, the more you parry, the more it builds. And if you can build a successful parry chain, your sword sets on fire, all these blue sparks, and you do way more damage. And if you can keep successfully parrying, you keep that buff going. So
and then with my lack of wanting to edit, and then I was thinking about it the other day, I'm like, you know what? WoW didn't even grow this Twitch channel.
You're on top of every move that he does. And so it's about learning those moves he can do.
I'm like, yeah, we could totally leave. You know, all I gotta do is stop caring about the fucking YouTube WoW videos. And
from this demo, like,
and yeah, as far as Twitch goes, WoW never made it on this Twitch channel.
For it to come back.
It was always
I'm
D3.
really excited to play this game, and I think it's because, for me anyway, it just feels like I'm in a constant state of being rewarded for my actions, and then I'm being rewarded by getting to do cool things.
Oh yeah, like this is a game where kind of like at the moment you do like a good parry against normal enemies, that tends to open them up for these really, really slick takedown moves, which is decapitations or cutting arms off, and they will chain together.
D3 in random games.
Exhaust 2 enemies simultaneously. You get to do a 1-2 kind of like double stab.
But mainly D3.
Really slick, really stylish, and yeah, it doesn't feel punishing, it feels rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. So there's so much more to talk about Onimusha, but I think that wraps us up there. Be sure to keep watching Gamescom 2025 coverage for all sorts of Capcom games and probably more Onimusha as well.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Gamescom Studio right here on IGN. Coming up, we are getting the lay of the land at a couple upcoming city builders, Pioneers of Pagonia and Rave. And if you need something a little more fast-paced, we're also going boots on the ground with the authentic World War I shooter Gallipoli. All that and more coming up right here on Gamescom Studio. Stick around.
Our world has been ripped apart since the fog arrived. Traversing the seas between the new islands is a perilous endeavor. The fog covers the land and all the dangers lurking there. But as yet, we have no idea.
Was this Sea of Thieves?
No one knows if our leaders are still alive. But if anyone can find them, we can. We will track down our lost tribes and face the dangers that lie in wait for us. After all, we're pioneers. We must work together to combat the threats emerging from the fog, vile creatures poisoning the land of Pagonia. Our mission is to be brave, to craft, build, and grow together by using all the resources we can find. But we must beware of strange whispers that corrupt even the purest of souls. We will explore this new world together and make Pagonia a safe home for all of us, once again.
Oh, it's an old game?
Tools, pioneers. There's still so much to do.
Ah, the humble beginnings of a Raven Kingdom. A modest village, a handful of hopeful foxfolk, and enough ambition to power a windmill. And who, might I ask, is in charge of all this? Oh, it's you. Well then, best of luck. These little go-getters, they're called Ravens. Fuzzy little dreamers with big ideas, bigger opinions, and the occasional
that's a
existential
pass.
crisis. Build how you like. New grids, no rules. Stick a bakery next to a blacksmith? Brilliant. Now you're thinking like a monarch. But beware, there's more to the world than just within the city walls. And for a kingdom to thrive, a ruler must look to the horizon. After all, there's a whole world out there to build. Expand and settle the world with multiple cities and build your empire. Arrange trade between your cities and help them flourish. Nights bring more than stargazing. Train your guards, sharpen your spears. Build your empire in a variety of biomes and bring diversity to your burgeoning realm. And maybe don't build your town next to that forest. Then look to your borders. Send out expeditions.
I was just thinking with how powerful Jane is, she most likely could have destroyed Oakmar during the sea trade.
Sentient
Giant
civilizations,
tsunami wave into a giant
trade,
hole that
alliances,
is
or even
Oakmar.
conflict as your kingdom takes its place in a larger world. Appoint governors, specialize cities, trade with noble otters. Ignore the Crow Ambassador's passive-aggressive notes, and just when you've got one town sorted, he'll build another.
There's like a
Two
lot of
more.
what
Then you
ifs, I
forget
guess,
which one makes
but
soap and which one's on fire.
I think they've chosen the paths due to storylines. Like, her storyline might not have been as great afterwards.
Hey you! Looking for a way to wear your fandom with pride? The IGN store is the ultimate destination for awesome merch and collectibles from the biggest games, movies, shows, and everything in between. Cruise the wasteland in style with a Vault Dweller hoodie and replica Pip-Boy. Kick back and relax to some of the best game soundtracks ever pressed on limited edition vinyl. Or level up your whole wardrobe with a massive selection of officially licensed apparel. From iconic properties like Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda to newer fan favorites like Atomfall and Expedition 33, the IGN store has you covered. You'll also find hats, jewelry, action figures, board games, model kits, art books, and even snacks. Whatever you're into, you're bound to find something. See for yourself and head to store.ign.com
I don't know if I trust
today. Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute
maybe they're sure.
Media podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN GameScoop.
GameScoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest
But-
game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the
There's
biggest
cheaper
PlayStation
places you
news.
can buy
Man, this is
shirts
a cool looking
than
Everything
IGN.
Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Switched to pre-order Mania. It was chaotic last night.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
I always heard from a friend that play Horde, they think any of the other Horde capitals would be a better and less confusing
The
layout.
Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
I always liked Oakmar.
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks. Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list?
Like, it's only
idea,
confusing
drives
when
me
you're
crazy.
new, right? Once
Join
you
us as
get
we
used
find
to
out on
the
Cinefix,
layout.
IGN, and wherever
It's
you
just
can
with
find it.
anything, I'm sure Stormwind is confusing to people when they first walk in.
LEGO Voyagers is a new two-player co-op adventure about two friends on a mission to rescue an abandoned spaceship and embark on a journey beyond their wildest dreams. Experience life as a Lego brick. Tumble, jump,
Oh,
snap together,
this one's
and
for
build
you,
your way
Arsenal.
through rich brick worlds in this poetic, non-verbal narrative set in beautiful brick-built environments supported by
Oh,
an
it might not
atmospheric
be.
soundtrack.
It might not be
Invite a
Lego.
friend to your adventure for free with the Friends Pass.
I just
As
heard
long
brick.
As one of you owns LEGO Voyagers, you can both experience the full co-op
I don't
experience
think
together.
it's
Let's take a look.
Lego. Oh, it is Lego. Okay, I was right the first time. But I don't think it's Batman Lego. Hey, Black Dragon. Stormwind is still confusing to you, right? Yeah, I think Stormwind is probably, probably one that still confuses a lot of people. Like, a lot of people don't even realize there's an outside city to Stormwind, you know? Like, they just think it's all around the castle, more or less. until they need to find Chromie. That's when they find out. Because she's over on the outskirts of it.
This is Gamescom Studio on IGN. Gamescom is a great time, but it also supports some great causes. We want to shout out Playing for the Planet. It's an alliance of game studios, publishers, and industry organizations facilitated by the United Nations Environmental Programme. The alliance supports its members, reducing their carbon footprint, and inspires players around the world
What else
to
we got here?
Seeing how that stalker, particularly presuming we get her in a larger environment than we did in this demo, I think there will be like lots of interesting kind of challenges for you to face because of the way it works with the environment.
Yeah, it's really interesting. One of my favorite touches of the new Stalker, though, what we've seen, is that she reacts to light. Like,
I think
light
I have
burns
the
her
first
skin,
Stalker.
and I think they've really
We
used
need
this
to
in a
play
clever
that.
way to abolish one of
We'll
the
play a bunch of
stranger
stuff
things about
after this
Stalker in
week's
previous
done.
games. So you might have seen memes of Mr. X trying to come into your safe room
Of
and
shows,
peeking
because
his head
I
in,
won't be
but then all
playing
of a
any
sudden
games
it's like,
on
oh
stream
no, I can't
this
go in
week
that room.
because
Well,
of
now they've found
all
like
the
a lore,
Gamescom
like
stuff.
an actual logic
But
reason.
after
If
that's
she comes into your
done,
room with a bright like room light, her skin will burn and she'll retreat.
we'll do some
And it's just those little touches
random
that make me feel
games
like
and stuff.
potentially this could be a Stalker of the ages.
Yeah, definitely. But the other thing is whereas this demo didn't have like a classic.
Oh, that's
safe
a
room,
bad
right? It
place
had
for
rooms
him
with the
to be
lights on,
standing. I
that
thought
you
he was
would be
wearing
safe.
face
But sometimes
makeup
it pulled
there.
a trick on you where you go into that room and the light smashed out, and suddenly it's like the place that you thought was safe, the place where you thought I'll get like 2 or 3 seconds just get away from this creature, rethink what my plan is. Suddenly that room is no longer safe, and I think that like playing with your expectations, a lot like Resi has done all the way through
And I
its
just
history.
realized I
particularly
haven't
with the
cleaned up my
remakes,
bookmarks
is
in a
use your
while. Like half my
expectations
bookmark
and then pull the
websites
carpet
don't
from under
exist
you. I think
anymore.
it does that very well.
Oh yeah? I don't really tend to mind too much either, but their websites that never go down, so yeah.
There was all sorts of that stuff.
Yeah, it
But
never ends up
one
being
thing that
an
was quite
issue.
unique, well, at least for a release Resident Evil, is that you could play this in either first or third person. You can just go into the menu and switch it anytime you wish. Which way did you prefer?
So I'm actually a real big fan of like Resi's pivot into first person. That's I found really increased the fear aspects, and so I played the demo all the way through in first person.
Speaking of websites, actually, I brought the
definitely
mystofdarkness
really worked for me because
website
it
back
really
up.
narrows kind of like your vision. And that creates
For
very
those that
bespoke kind of, like,
don't
creative
know,
scares. There's a
I
moment where you go
recently
into a
like
room
started
and
back
you're
up a
trying to push a
business,
cart
and
around,
so I had to
and
do a
bits start
website for
falling
it,
off
and
the cart. And
I
actually
was
do that,
while I was
because of the
doing
way
that,
you're
I
playing,
was
the
like,
vision
well,
is like honed. You
maybe
see,
we
like, the
just bring up
shadow of
the
this
other
creature
website
walking
again.
past the window.
You know, it was
And
never
when I replayed
down,
the
but I
demo
stopped
with kind of,
hosting
like,
it.
in third person and played through that
Because
section
hosting
again,
can get pretty pricey.
I didn't quite get the same scare
But
because the way that the
back
angle is
up,
opened
yeah,
up and
there's not
really
much going
where
on
Grace is
it,
in the frame
but
covered that up.
Yeah.
However, you do get benefits for playing in third person. Dale, I know that you
But
played a lot
maybe
more of the demo in
eventually
third person
I'll
than me, and you were talking
think
about
up
the
some more
bespoke
shit to
animations
put
that
on
has.
it.
Yeah, so I mean, in all honesty, I prefer first person for these as well. However, I really wanted to see what it was like in third person, and when we were looking back and comparing what we did, we noticed that the third person like has very bespoke animations. Very specifically, when you're in first person, you're running away. It's just you're beelining down a corridor. But when you're in third person, Grace sometimes will trip and stumble and fall. And I feel like that was a really
That's
clever
where you
way
can
of
see my written
adding some
thoughts
horror elements,
of
making
what
you
I
a bit
just told you
scared.
guys
I
at
think
the
there's
beginning
something-
of this
when
stream,
the threat is so
because I
looming
was
in first
thinking
person,
it
feels way more intimidating.
like a
So
week
third
ago,
person inherently can
and
feel a little
I
less
wrote
scary.
it down
However, I think
on that
tripping and falling
website.
is an excellent example of how they've really thought about how do you make it
Yeah.
scary in third person as well. And it's a
Yeah, I
little
think
touch
that
I
was
really
like
appreciate.
Sunday.
I
It
think the other thing
was,
that was really cool was the fact that
yeah,
it's
because
not just that third
it's
person's
labeled
kind of an
no more
option.
news.
Like it was when they added it into Resident Evil Village, it kind of felt like it was there as a concession. Now it's definitely woven in those two viewpoints. And so there are cutscenes where the camera will go into the back of Grace's head and do things in first person, but there are also cutscenes that are bespokely made to be in third person. It feels like it's a really coherent package this time around.
Absolutely, and I hope we get to see tons more of that in the final game when it comes out in 2026. But for everything else, all Capcom games are Resident Evil. Let's keep watching at Gamescom 2025.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. From Dawn of the Dead to Dead Rising, there's plenty of zombie fiction that takes place in shopping centres. But so far, none of it has also taken place in the Middle Ages. Here to tell us about God Save Birmingham, creative director Hyung Song Cha and content manager Gwyn Kim will be translating. Hi. Now, no offense to our
I think
UK
we can
audience,
pass
but
this one.
why Birmingham and why not Paris or Berlin?
Or at least
or
get to
London?
gameplay.
Too big. They felt the scope would be a little bit beyond what they could manage. So they did another set of research to find a city that's still famous, still around, and was around back in the Middle Ages, but of
You guys
more manageable
interested?
size that they could handle. And during that process, they found a YouTube video posted by the Museum of Birmingham, and while they watched it and took a close look at it, they felt that would tremendously help them create the city for the game, and that's how they decided with Birmingham.
Let's see what this one is.
Effects, and those abilities can be licensed to the other manufacturers.
Ooh,
so you
I
might
do
get,
like.
say, an Atlas weapon that's got all these other functions from the other man. It's really, really cool, and it leads to just more combinations, more possibilities for gameplay.
More time to grind and get that perfect weapon.
Well, that's the
perfect
thing, right? Everyone's got for their build the
Mm-hmm.
perfect piece of loot they're after.
Yeah. So
We will get to the Borderlands 4. It is in the mix
guns
here.
That talk. We've had guns that walk. We've had guns that shoot poop, that shoot food. What's one of the really cool things we're getting in Borderlands 4?
There's, you want the weird stuff?
Yeah, what's the weird? Let's go weird.
Fish grenades? I don't.
Are those fish that are grenades, or the grenades blow up into fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Either one. Oh, crazy stuff. But one of the things that I love is speaking of grenades, we kind of recaptured the grenade button, and we now call that ordnance. So not only can you slot grenades in there, you can
Is this
slot
Destiny?
all kinds of stuff.
I guess in a
Massive
sense it
miniguns,
could
big
look
rocket
like
launchers,
that,
even,
right?
throwing
It's been a
knives,
while. I
all
haven't
kinds
played
of
Destiny
weird stuff
since
that
the
you've never
Destiny
seen.
2 came
Weapons
out.
you've never seen in a Borderlands game before are now part of that, and they kind of
I
work
played
almost
it.
like a new action
Play it
skill.
for like the
in
first,
addition
I
to
don't know,
your
couple of
hero
weeks.
characters, action skills, which of course, there's a
I
ton
didn't
of
even
those
get
too,
to the
so lots of
DLCs.
combinations.
I was
it's very
out
cool. Like,
by
I
the time
really
the
love idea
DLCs
that
showed
we're
up.
gonna be able to really change our playstyle based on what
I had a
weapons
lot
we
of
have
fun
set
in the
slot.
first
Yeah,
Destiny,
it's a
though.
lot of fun, and it's kind of like depending on what you slot into it. Like some people use it for things that can kind of get them out of a situation. I like to use it for things that are just, they're on cooldown, but when I press it, it's
What happened? That was
because I love
third.
feeling powerful. I just want to feel like a badass when I play Borderlands.
Go big or go home.
Right.
Speaking of badass, our badass rank's going to be returning in this round.
We got something along those lines.
Okay.
It's, we always push boundaries.
But what
we
if
always
you're
try
already
things.
home? Then
I think
where
what
do
we've
you
got
go
is,
then?
is an upgrade from that. But there's.
I guess you just go
with every
big.
Borderlands game, we've always teetered with different types of innovation.
You have no
things about
choice.
Having this be the fourth game is we have now.
Warframe's
all
a
kinds of
game I
places where we
haven't
kind of,
played in a
oh,
long
that
time.
game we went too far
Yeah.
here. Or we went. And
Back
now
when
we
I
kind of
played
know
it, it
where the
was
bullseyes
free. I
are.
think you got
so,
paid for
we've
it
really
now.
kind of honed in on the best of the best. But some of the systems we love, we'll iterate, improve on, and tweak a little bit. And Badass Rank's one of those.
And it was
Now,
definitely
we've
in early
seen
access.
We've seen a few of our Vault Hunters in action. We've seen Vex.
It was
Rafa,
in
and
testing
Amon,
mode.
But we haven't seen Harlow. When's Harlow getting her time
You
to
still
shine?
had
What her
access
background
to,
You know
like,
what's funny about Harlow?
a lot of the
is
stuff that the game
I'm,
offers
like,
now.
Right now, I think she's.
It
my
had a
favorite
lot going on
Vault
for
Hunter.
early
So,
access.
maybe we've been holding out, saving her for the end, but she's really, really awesome. I've been playing Harlow a lot.
It could
lately.
be
what's
still
funny
free.
is
I
when
just
we
know they
started,
have like
with Harlow, I
at
think
least
when
a
we did
lot
our
of
first introduction of
other
all the
things
Vault
that can be
Hunters,
paid. Like it was completely free.
They all have different
before.
cosmetics and different kinds of heads and skins. And there was a really
But
nerdy
to play it, it might be.
head that was on her for that first appearance.
I don't know.
And
I
then
haven't played
I
it
started
in.
playing her a lot. I'm like,
I
dude,
think the last time I
I'm a
logged
nerd.
in was
I don't wanna have the
2017.
nerd. I don't want to like. I want to play like the bad.
A lot of shit could have happened.
We kind of switched to one of the other heads and gave
from
these
then
really
to
cool
now.
glasses and
It's like
this
almost
the
10
look now
years.
is just fire. I love it. But she has awesome crowd control abilities, which chain together in really unique ways depending on how you build your skills out. So I've been having a lot of fun with her. It's weird because I was certain, earlier in development when I was spending most of my time with Vex that was going to be my character, but now I'm pretty sure it's going to be Harlow.
I've been a Siren main every single Borderlands game, and I was like, but Harlow looks so cool.
If you like phase locking and that kind of crowd control gameplay, you're probably going to be a Harlow player.
Okay,
Yeah.
we actually have some Harlow gameplay up
You still think
right
it's
now. So
2017?
yeah, Can you like just kind of talk
No
about
way.
what we're seeing the footage of this
You gotta be
doing?
kidding.
Oh, yeah, so,
2017
well, right now
was great.
We're actually in a run-up to a
I
boss
think we're
fight,
fully
which
aware
is
we're
a
in 2025.
pretty gnarly fight.
So many crappy games.
You can see a couple of, let's see, it looks like she's actually got, oh, I don't have my glasses on. I can't quite
And
see
especially
what that,
with
it looks
WoW,
like there might be,
like, you know, 2017 was kind of, even when they were making mistakes, it was the point where
it is a throwing knife.
even the most tolerable became intolerable.
This is the run up to a really awesome wicked boss fight. Oh, look, there's, oh, okay, so she's using the Powerball, it's stunned him. There's also versions that can lock, ones that bounce around. There's lots of different ways that she can use these gravity balls. Her class is a Gravatar, and she uses science. She doesn't need magic that sirens use. She uses sirens in her.
It looks like a pretty good game. The problem is
so with this
I'll tell you the
build,
kind of player I am.
You're going to see a lot.
This is a Doom-like.
It's kind of a combination
so
between
if I'm gonna play it, I'm just gonna go to Doom.
The way this version of the gravity
That's
balls are being used.
who I am. I just
my favorite are just
I'm not gonna
pure
put
locking and
my
crowd
energy
control.
into
Suspensions,
some
I like
new
enemies in the
game
air
when
for
I
me.
can
I
play
like,
Doom.
some of the moves can automatically bounce the gravity balls from enemy to enemy, and you notice in this one too. It'll time dilate. Like,
so, not saying it would never get played, but it would have minimal hours because
to almost nothing.
It would be casual play. I put all my efforts
yeah, no, this is
into the games that I already know I love that are like it.
Now, back in pre-sequel, there was a lot of like multiplayer interaction that you could have with the other Vault Hunters. Are we gonna see?
That's why I like when people have like new ideas of stuff, because then I'm more likely to want to play it and get invested. You know.
Render all of our cutscenes.
But if it's pretty much a clone of another game that I love, then I'll just pick that other game.
Were pre-rendered, and they just played as videos.
Hence why WoW has been basically the only MMO I play.
We're gonna do it.
You know, I've tried others.
We're definitely gonna try.
But they've gotten like less than 40 hours out of me because they do exactly what WoW does.
If you don't see your character,
less.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm glad we made that decision though, because we did pull it off. We did successfully get to the point where we can now render everything in real time. So now in Borderlands 4,
that's why if I did actually quit WoW, we quit MMOs. Like that's what that will equal.
They all have unique dialogue. They all have unique characterizations and interactions, not just with the NPCs.
Plus, I'll never want to pay to play another game. It's the only one I currently do, and it's the only one I ever
because, as you know,
chose to.
There's all kinds of weird costumes and outfits people
I know that was one of the reasons I decided not to play Final Fantasy. One, I wasn't fond of the characters in Final Fantasy 14.
I plan on breaking
but another was that I'd have to pay to play another game. And yeah, if I ever quit WoW, we're done.
How many missions are we looking at in Borderlands 4?
Well, I
never
will tell
doing
you that,
another one ever again.
There's a very, very healthy main campaign. I'm not going to tell you the exact number of missions, but all of
I had a few issues with Final Fantasy 14. You know, characters was one, because like I'm just gonna say, if I didn't feel like I am my druid in WoW, I would quit long ago. Like I stay for my druid.
So many, and you could do them or not.
And
optional. Some of them are just.
And then the other was that there wasn't really
others are full drawn out adventures.
There wasn't a whole lot of talk, you know. It was very quiet, and it was almost like they were missing some
we made this seamless world.
Voice actors.
Finally, technology has caught up to our ambitions.
And
you can tell when you play even early Borderlands games that we've always wanted a wide open world.
Yeah, I find that rough when you're doing like a game for the first time. I need to know. I need to hear people talking
or with a loading time, mostly with loading times, which sucks because you're waiting to play the game. You're waiting for the technology to catch up. in Borderlands 4,
I did a
the
stream
hardware and the
of
software we've developed and our use
Star
of the Unreal
Wars
Engine has caught up to our ambition. So now it's a wide, seamless world, and with that, we populate it. So in addition to main
and Star
storylines
Trek
and side
Online,
quests, there's all kinds
I
of
tried
other
that one out
activities that are dynamic
long time
and just
ago.
sort of
That
happen,
that
and
was a
little things
requested
to do that you
stream
could
back
discover
in
and
like
immerse yourself in as you explore the
2016, I think it was.
No, like the vision is
Yeah.
always like it's always seemed like it's wanted to go push further and
It
further.
was
and you guys
okay,
with
but
each
Thanks. Yeah, we
I
try.
only like
we are,
WoW.
You know, and sometimes we
Yeah.
push too far, but I think
Like
that's part of
we're
you know,
totally
artists, and
done with
you
MMOs
know, it's part,
if I
part of
ever
what goes
quit
with it.
WoW.
art, you know, it evokes emotion and such. And
You can feel.
And I don't
you
see
can
that as
feel
a
the
bad
gearbox.
thing
You can
because
feel us
MMOs
in
are
our games.
grindy.
We're all in there,
And they
and
are
for better or for worse.
they are what
But
makes the
we
hamster
definitely
wheel.
commit
Just
ourselves to it. And I think
Blizzard.
I'm hoping
Blizzard
I
doesn't
know for
want
me
you
as someone
playing
who
other
loves
games, so they
entertainment in a
increase
world
that
where like
hamster
we get
wheel.
everything's getting more and more digital and things can be AI generated. That I actually appreciate more when I could feel the human craftsmanship, the handmade work, and I don't know. It feels really good. And when
I
I
would
have
also
so many
get
people on the
Pokemon
team,
or
like for me,
Monster
one of the
Hunter.
reasons why I love to play solo a lot and co-op's fun.
Nice.
But I just,
But you're a
there's beauty
Pokemon
just
person.
under
You'd
a
probably
rock
choose
with
Pokemon
an
over
artist that's
Monster
painted
Hunter,
the little
right?
doodles.
just getting that
you know?
chance to kind of
Yeah.
explore it yourself.
Yeah.
Now, you know, speaking of like evoking emotion and such like that, the $80 comment around games. I
Okay,
do have to, I
yeah.
got to ask you about it. Do you worry that approach is going to be detrimental to the potential success of Borderlands?
What approach?
There's the $80, like the conversation around the $80 game gamers will
Well,
find a
I
way.
think
And
that whole thing is a byproduct of something I'm kind of just I think is important, which is, yeah, I am on Twitter and I'm accessible. And anyone could, I'm at Duval Magic on Twitter, and anyone in the world could message me, and I could.
Is that
and
what
I
this
reply,
game's called?
And I use the platform for what it's worth. Now, it was really interesting, right? Because, you know, there's a conversation that happens, which let's be honest, the sum of all social media talk and the sum of every article written about that doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't. At the end of the day, as all
Even
of
though
us
I
do,
hate
when
the
we
grind
approach
on Monster
entertainment,
Hunter.
we think about what it is.
The thing
that we
with
want
Monster
and what it
Hunter,
is they're
though,
asking
is the
of
game
us.
eventually
and if we want
ends
something and it
for
feels
you,
like
right?
a fair,
I don't mind a grind
price or whatever
when
the
a game
barrier
has
is,
an ending.
then we explore it and we
You
engage
know,
in
you're
it.
just
And if it
playing a
doesn't feel
playthrough
fair,
at that point.
we step away.
Yeah.
And both Gearbox and Take-Two and 2K have always had the attitude of
it's
we want
when
to make sure
you
in
go
every
through a
case
grind
that whenever we're
and
making
then
entertainment with people and whatever it costs,
and then
that
they
whoever's
add
getting it
another
feels like
grind
they
and
got the
then
better end of the
another.
deal. That
Like
the
WoW's a
value that they're
prime
getting for whatever
example.
they're
Like
spending is
Monster
better.
Hunter.
And I think we've always
you
lived
know,
up to that.
I agree.
Each
Yeah.
version
Really
of
gotten
Monster
that.
Hunter is
Yeah.
never going to
Seasons
be
and extra
20
expansions in
years
previous Borderlands.
of
Like,
added
I've
content.
always felt
Okay.
like I've gotten the value in
Thank
hours
you.
put into those.
Thank you.
So.
And we, you know, I do know
But
something
with
about
WoW,
the game. I've been
it's
working
like,
on
yeah,
Borderlands
you
for
just
years.
never done the
It's
grind
amazing
because
value.
there'll
The
always
truth
be a
is,
patch.
when we
There'll always be an
designed the model
expansion.
and when we built
They will
everything,
always, you know. Now
it all
they're
makes
like
sense. It's going to be fine.
they're
It's going to be
increasing
fine.
the
And
grind more
the
now.
price isn't up to me anyway. I was just engaging in a conversation that was happening
with all these
on the internet.
remixes and shit. Like,
that's been happening
and it's an
for a lot of
interesting
the games.
conversation.
It is.
The for any given product, the conversation doesn't matter. I'm really, as an artist, I'm thrilled that my partners, you know, that Take-Two and 2K decided to sell Borderlands for the same price that we sold Borderlands 3 for, not raise the price with some other games, because I want everybody to play it. I want as many
there's
people
no
as
way.
possible to
Was
play it.
this
You know, there might
Borderlands?
be a
No
little bit of friction
way.
there for some people as
Didn't look
prices
like
go
it
up.
at all.
But I also know that from a value perspective, they probably could have charged 5 times as much.
Not,
and it would have
right?
felt worth it. And some people might have been willing to pay that. I don't know if I would have.
It didn't.
But
He's just talking about Borderlands, right? Because it did not look like Borderlands at
Well,
all.
Randy, thank you so much. Borderlands 4 hits PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on September 12th, and it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on October 3rd. But right now, there's more Gamescom Studio right here on IGN.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world.
Jeez, we know where we're at.
Where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and
Another
celebrate across
IGN
Cologne.
commercial. Jeez.
1,500
No wonder this
exhibitors.
ship's 7 hours long.
The biggest.
When the time comes, wouldn't you rather have friends among your conquerors?
So that was actually he made it sound like it, right? Like, yeah. I didn't think that was Borderlands 4. Not at all. It didn't look like it. Borderlands has a certain look to it, and nothing that we just saw
This is
looked
Gamescom
like
Studio on IGN. If you're a fan of games about stealthy, sword-wielding assassins, 2025 has already been jam-packed, but one of the deadliest around is still waiting to strike. Here to tell us about Ninja Gaiden 4, producer, director Yuji Nakao, and global project manager Joe Muntel, who'll be translating. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Ninja Gaiden 4, this time around, we're following a new character named Yakumo. What can you tell us about Yakumo?
Which is too bad because Borderlands has never needed to copy games. They are like, when I think of, just think Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, okay? Just think of like how it looks. And when I see a game that looks like that, I think Borderlands. That's the first thing that comes to mind. So they've never needed to copy. They've got their own theme going on that they're known for.
その目的が竜と対立することによって、竜との激闘が繰り広げられたりとか、その道行く、敵、今回のメインの敵である竜神島だったりとかと戦うことになってしまうというそんな感じの物語になってます。
So the new protagonist Yakumo is a member of the Raven clan, which is a separate clan from Ryu Hayabusa's Hayabusa clan. And the Raven clan operates in the shadows.
This game looks so busy, right? I like it though.
Yakumo is on a mission to kill the Dark Dragon, which is the nemesis of Ninja Gaiden 4. And on the way to completing his mission, he will have to clash with Ryu Hayabusa, who has different motivations and objectives. And along the way, he'll also face off against the Divine Dragon Order, which you see him fighting many soldiers of the Divine Dragon Order in the footage that has been revealed up until this point.
I want to ask about Ryu in just a moment, but I think we're looking at the story trailer that you've just debuted here at Gamescom. So, tell us about what you wanted to do when you were telling this new story for Ninja Gaiden 4.
そうですね。昨日オープニングナイトライブでストーリートレーラーが公開されてたんですけども、本作のストーリー、についてもうちょっと具体的に、教えていただければと思いますけど。
はい。I've
played all the Devil May Cries. I can see why you make a comparison, but I wouldn't say it's a copy. No, the Ninja Gaiden definitely has a different appeal to it.
その封印を解いて、黒竜を倒すためにヤクモは、セオリっていうヒロインと共に進んでいくんですけれども、一方でその封印を竜ハヤブサだったり竜神島っていうのが守らないといけないというところから、目的が違うことによって戦ってしまうことになるということで、その黒竜にまつわる黒竜が渦巻く物語になっていくので、その黒竜が実際どうなっていくのかとか、竜ハヤブサとヤクモはどうなってしまうのか、どういう戦いになっていくのかっていうところが見どころかなと思います。
So Ninja Gaiden 4's story is, it's set against the backdrop of this Dark Dragon nemesis. So the Dark Dragon has appeared in prior Ninja Gaiden titles, and in Ninja Gaiden 4, the Dark Dragon has been defeated a number of times, but in Ninja Gaiden 4, its husk is floating in the sky, and it is not completely annihilated.
I always like these games because I like fast attacks. I miss those kind of games where you just
sets out to
slice through things super fast. Nowadays, everything's like, oh, you gotta be, you're carrying a hammer, so of course you're gonna swing it slow.
That is what leads to the clash with
I hate slow attacking so much.
Which their objective is to keep
I love the super fast
sealed away because they're aware of the risks that will present themselves if they decide to release the seals that are sealing away this nemesis, the Dark Dragon.
So how did you decide to go with the new protagonist and make Ryu more of a supporting character this time around?
今回は新しい主人公ということになるので、役もメインっていう認識ですけども、それについRyu Hayabusa じゃなくて役もメインにしようと思ったきっかけについて教えていただけますか？
はい。今回チーム忍者さんとコラボレーションで、忍者ガイデン4を作っていくのにあたって、忍者ガイデン3からやっぱり時間がすごい経っているっていうところも あったりしたので、これからその新しく忍者ガイデンを遊んでいただく方にもすっと受け入れてもらいたいなっていうところと、あとこれから新しい忍者ガイデンを作っていくっていうのにあたって、プレイヤーの目線で一緒に成長していけるキャラクターを作りたいっていうところからヤクモを入れることにしました。でただですね、もちろん忍者ガイデンのアイコンとなっているキャラクターとして竜ハイブサっていうのはしっかり立っておりますので、
This one has been on my wish list for a couple of
ヤ
years
クモで
now.
プレイするパートもあれば竜でプレイするパートもあったりとかっていうところで、しっかりと物語には絡めていくので、往年のファンの方に関してもご安心いただいてプレイしていただければなと思います。
So, since it's been such a long time since the last mainline entry in, Ninja Gaiden, we wanted to, make a fresh entry point for new players as well. And that's why we decided to introduce a new protagonist in the form of Yakumo, who players can, grow together with in this new game. But with that said, of course, Ryu Hayabusa is the Ninja Gaiden icon. So, players can rest assured that Ryu Hayabusa will have a strong presence in the story, and there are dedicated segments in the story for Ryu Hayabusa as well. So,
Well, of
fans
course
Ryu
you can.
Hayabusa
Like,
will definitely
we're
have
in
a great
2025.
time,
These
with,
kind of games
with
have
playing
been
the
made
story of Ninja
for
Gaiden 4.
like 50
Well,
years.
fans of Ryu Hayabusa, like IG users, Full Metal 6661
You know
and
what I
Darkwing
mean?
Spartan would love
Yeah.
to know, is Ryu's
They-
only weapon the
you
Dragon
can make a comparison,
そうですね、ユーザーからの質問も
you know, on many. Yeah, because games nowadays are inspired by games
のみですかっていう
from,
質問ですか
you know, like
そう
the
ですね。
80s, you know?
今回竜ハイブサに関して
80s,
は
90s,
竜剣を使って戦うことになります。で、加えてですね、これまで
Yeah,
の本作に
nothing's
あった
really original
忍法で
nowadays.
すね。を使い分けな
Even
がら
Dark
戦ってい
Souls,
く
like
こと
like I
に
said
なります。
earlier, Dark
で、
Souls just
反
means
対にヤクモに
difficulty.
関しては、
You know?
これまで紹
Like,
介した
yeah,
武器
there's
に
souls
加えて、
that
それ
they
ぞれ
collect,
の
but
カラスの方と
every
いう
game
通
has
常状
something
態
you
と、
collect.
ヌエ
Like,
の方
yeah,
っていうダイナミックな、技の数々っていうのを楽しめるので、
there's
その竜と
games that
ヤク
that
モ
can
両
be
方を使っ
compared
て
to.
楽しんでもらえたら
And
なと
some of those old games
So,
are
yeah,
so much tougher
in Ninja
than
Gaiden 4,
Dark Souls.
Ryu's
Yeah.
weapon in the base game will be the Dragon Sword. But in addition to the Dragon Sword, he'll also be able to seamlessly use his Ninpo, so you can switch between Ninpo on the fly while in combat. And with regards to Yakumo's weapon variety, he uses his Blood Raven form to transform his base weapons. So each weapon itself is a pair. So there's in total 8 weapon varieties, if you will. So you'll be able to experience a wide, breadth of
Big
weapon
BRB,
variety
gonna
in
use the
in the game
bathroom,
with both
the
characters.
24-hour gym I
So
go
I don't think
to. I am
in all the
tired
combat
of
we've
getting
seen, I don't think we've
interrupted
seen any
in the
ranged
one
combat except for
bath.
shurikens.
Say,
Will there be new ranged weapons?
I got
for either
lost somewhere
Yakumo or
along the
Ryu?
way. Are you at the gym right now?
遠距離の武器あまり見当たらなかったんですけども、それについてどうですかね。
Can you use the
そうです
bathroom
ね。
at
今回は
the
ですね、
24-hour gym I go to?
こ
Tired
れ
of
ま
getting
で使っていた
interrupted
多彩
in
な
the
アクシ
one
ョン
bathroom.
の
Ah,
中
you're
で、
going to the gym.
特にヌエの方ってい
Okay,
う
I
とこ
see
ろ
the
に
big
遠距離
BRB
の
because you're
技
headed
っ
to
てい
the
うのを集
gym
約しておりま
to
し
go
て、
use the bathroom.
基本的な操作の中で使える遠距離武器に関しては手裏剣のみになり
That
ます。
is
で、
some
ただ
that's some
昨日
effort there.
オープニングナイトライブで公開させてもらっ
You
た
might
映
as well
像
just
の
go
中
work
で
out,
使ってい
right?
る
You
新
might
武
as
器に
well
関して
just
は遠距離と近距離を両
the
方使い
gym.
分けて戦うって
You might as
いう
well
非常に
throw a
トリッキーな武器
workout,
になってい
take a
るので、
piss,
こちら
do
の
a
武器
workout,
は他の武器とまた違う毛色になってい
go
るので、
back
そうい
into
っ
the
たところでその遠
bathrooms,
距離の遊
take
び
a
みたいなのは
shower,
十分に楽しめる形
and
になって
then
いるか
come
な
back
と。
home.
So in terms of long-range weapons, like you alluded to,
But
in your
I get
question,
it.
the main
My
long-range weapon will be the
friends
shurikens,
refuse to
but using Yakumo's
fix
Blood
the
Raven
bathroom
form,
in the
for
basement
example,
for
each weapon has
years
its own
now.
projectile
I
techniques
would say
that you
10
can use
years,
to attack
probably,
enemies
roughly.
who are
We've been going
in-
off
in-
the one
away from you.
bathroom
So,
setup
each
for a while.
Blood Raven form
And
has a
it can be
long-range,
annoying.
technique that you can,
Luckily, he is
use.
on a
But
schedule,
also,
more or
I invite
less, so I
players
know
to
what
look at the
time
trailer
he
that was
goes
revealed yesterday,
into
where we revealed the
to
Assassin's
take
Tools
his
weapon.
bath.
So that weapon is kind of a
I,
jack
you
of
know,
all
for the
trades,
most
and you
part,
can really, be tricky because
yeah,
it has
I work
long,
around him a bit.
a
That's
lot
why
of
you always
long-range
see me
options as
kind
well
of
as close
do a
range,
BRB,
options.
like
Can you
right
talk about how
before
weapon
10.
upgrades work?
Yeah, it's
今回
not that
武器
that's just when I
の
gotta
アップグレード
go.
に
Because that's the one I go to ensure, because he takes like 2-hour baths. I don't get
そうで
it.
すね。
But yeah,
今回です
and
ね、武器に関しては、これ
so
ま
I
での
just
忍
make
者
sure
ガ
I
イデンア
go
クションだっ
before
た
he
りと
hops
か、
in.
まあその基本的な操作に付随したものを
So I'm
習得できる
I
体術
can
ってい
relate
うもの
Draco.
と、あとそれぞれの武器に対する固有のまあ必殺技みたいなものが存在します。で、そのまず前者の体術に関してはステージの途中でアシストキャラクターにお金を払って教えてもらいながらアクションを順次学んでいくっていうものになっていて、武器の方の特殊な技に関しては、まあ、戦闘で貯める武器の経験値を使って解放していくことになります。でそれぞれ体術の方は、まあ、忍者ガイデンならではのアクションっていうのを取り揃えてて、武器の方に関しては、まあ、ある種プラチナゲームズならではのダイナミックなアクションの数々っていうのを楽しめるように住み分けているような形になっています。
Yeah, so the way progression works in Ninja Gaiden 4, there are combat skills and then there's weapon skills. So combat skills you'll be able to acquire from this character called Tyron, who you'll meet in each level, and you can use Ninja Coin, which is the in-game currency that you obtain just through general progression, defeating enemies. And within those combat skills, you'll find those legacy, Ninja Gaiden techniques. It's where you can find your Izuna drop and your flying swallow that you'll, of course, be able to acquire at a very early point in the game because it doesn't cost much currency. And then separate from that, there are the weapon abilities that you can, open up the menu, select your weapon, and you'll see this huge, variety of weapon techniques that you can acquire using a separate currency. It's weapon experience, and that's where you'll find those, very dynamic Platinum Games-esque, over-the-top, stylish abilities.
One more quick question before we let you go. A lot of fans are excited to play Ninja Gaiden 4. Are there any plans to release a demo as we get closer to launch?
最後になりますけども、発売に近づいてて一般向けのデモ私有を出す予定があったりしますでしょうかっていう。
そうですね。今回ゲームズコムで初めて一般の私有になっていて、まあ、雑魚敵との戦闘っていう、まあ、忍者ガイデンらしいプリミティブな体験から今回から新しくさらに進化したボス戦まで楽しめるような形になってます。でこの後もですねちょっとまだ計画中ではあるんですけどいろいろな方に体験していただきたいので、そういった機会は積極的に考えていきたいなっていうふうに思っていますのでぜひそちらもお楽しみにお待ちください。であと私有をしていただくと今ゲームズコムで私有していただくとこちらのピンバッジももらえますのでぜひ皆さんはい。
I'm not a pin person, but I do have.
よろしくお願いします。
Nearby.
Yeah, so right now, the general public who are visiting Gamescom, they'll be able to experience Ninja Gaiden 4, and the build we've prepared for the general public captures that kind of challenging, intense Ninja Gaiden experience. They'll be able to enjoy a boss fight as well. So we invite players to.
I do have
themselves.
this
With regards
pin.
to future plans, we're still considering things, but we want to
It's
explore
Sora,
opportunities
'cause I love
to
my
allow
Kingdom
more players to
Hearts.
experience Ninja Gaiden.
And yeah, I do have that because I got the
if you do play the demo
collector's
today,
edition
you'll be able to receive
when the
these
third
pins of both
came out.
Yakumo and
And,
Ryu. So, if you're at Gamescom, please
yeah.
check out
Other
the
than
demo on
that,
your phone.
I'm not a pin.
Very
Like
cool.
it's
I'm
still
excited
in
to
the
play.
plastic.
Thank you both so much.
Like
Ninja Gaiden 4 Slices
obviously.
and Dices its way onto Xbox Series.
It's been in the
PlayStation 5 and PC on
plastic
October
since like
21st.
2019
And right now,
or
there's more
something.
Gamescom Studio here on IGN.
This is Gamescom Studio.
Yeah, I'm not a
on
pin
IGN.
collector,
Up
but
next, we're delving into an immersive 3D dungeon crawler developed
But I
by
do have
some
that one.
veterans of the Gothic and Risen games, which may or may not involve some demon slaying. Here's Clarlin.
Man,
Who's in charge down here?
hold up. It looks great, but I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I know it was a bit ago that you said it, Black Dragon, but that cyber game is Cyberpunk. Yeah, it was supposed to be the next game, but I chose Hogwarts instead. But when we were just starting Hogwarts, like 6 months ago, that was supposed to be Cyberpunk. It is purchased, and yeah, one of these days, I'm just not sure if Cyberpunk is a game I want to complete, like, from start to finish. Yeah, you know how, like, there's some games you're interested in enough to do that, and Cyberpunk just seems more like a putz around game for me. That's why I put Hogwarts in front of it. Yeah. But we'll see.
You don't wanna know. Says who?
Are my speakers loud?
Haven't you seen that cute, pretty statue in the Abyss Chamber?
My speakers are not that loud. It's probably loud for you guys too, because what's going on is they're kind of bad at volume control here. They've got the trailers are at like a good volume, and then when it gets to the conference or whatever you want to call it, like the Gamescom, all the interviews and stuff, then the volume's like down to half. Yeah, it's
We better talk about it too loud.
Let me know if it's too loud, though.
You know what I mean? I think I've seen enough down here. I wonder who ties your shoes for you in the morning.
It looked kinda okay, but I have to start being more picky because
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. We've just
I got like 1,000 games on my
coverage
Steam.
here at Gamescom, but don't worry because we're just getting started here.
The region is called Castor Woods.
Okay. And that's not even exaggeration. It's
Alps,
9
little
songs.
touristy towns
Damn
in Swiss Alps. Lots of nature, lots of very beautiful vistas. But of course,
I
this one
just
has
like to
lots
say,
of zombies in it.
Not like some huge exaggeration.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I'd probably go to the Swiss Alps as well,
Yeah,
just
of course,
to see it.
of course. But yeah, of course. Like the high season for zombies is there all
let's
the
skip
time.
past this.
And actually, what we have here, so
This is a
the
very
town in the
long
middle of the map is actually built to be almost like a parkour paradise. We really wanted to squeeze as much as possible out of this location, so players are able to seamlessly showcase all of the parkour skills, jump, run, wall run, slide, connect all of that together.
But it is a very emotional storyline. Both the Lighthouse and the Seabird Twig have character arcs, and they go through changes and metamorphism.
Yeah, nailed it. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah. It happens to both of them, but it's all. We're only showing like the
I don't
very
know if I
early
can say it
gameplay
either.
footage.
Oh,
because
Double Fine.
Things, believe it or not,
I
get
usually
a lot
like
weirder
Double
than what
Fine
you're seeing.
things.
With you guys? Never.
come on.
No, absolutely. So I just want to touch very quickly then, if we're not hearing them speak per se, is it environmental storytelling? The music, I'm assuming, is a really important part as well?
This game,
the
we
sound
saw
design,
this one yesterday.
The animation, a lot of our animators try to make scenes work if you have the volume off, just as like it's the expressiveness of the Lighthouse still has a face-like level of expression. The bird is very expressive, obviously, and there are scenes that will make people cry. game, I think.
I'm not ready for it,
Not the whole time. Not
no,
the whole
it
time.
will be the whole time, I
Yeah.
swear. Look at the birds.
So
He's going to make me
sweet.
weep already. Well, obviously, we got studio here, Henry, so I do have to ask. People are always curious about you guys, what Double Fine is cooking up behind closed
I
doors.
don't
And the last time we spoke to
understand
you
why
was back in
people do that
2021
to
when
their
we
ears.
saw Psychonauts 2. So
Like-
what have you been up to since then outside
I
of
don't
Keeper?
get
Can you
it.
actually tell us anything you've been
Must,
doing?
must be
I'm here
some
to announce
like
right now,
cool
that we
thing to
are
do in
making
the
other
States
games
or
too.
something.
We have
Fantastic.
multiple games going on at the studio, and the thing I will say is that they're all brand new. They're all brand new IP.
Wow.
We did Psychonauts 2, and that is keeping us fine for sequels for a while.
Great work on that, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of team effort. Here's some footage of the team.
Yeah, they are working, right?
Except for that guy who's just walking around.
Yeah.
Right, he's just trying to look busy.
No, yeah, we're working on new projects.
I
that
don't
are,
blame him.
Brand new IP. and
He
we're
knows
excited
cameras
about
are there,
sharing
right?
them
I'd be doing the
someday.
same
Okay.
thing.
Someday.
I'd make sure I have a pen and a paper.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Tim, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts on Keeper that you'd like to share?
Well, let's see. Do we talk about the bird? Yeah.
You did the birds.
Yeah.
Bird. There's puzzles.
Yeah.
Got that.
Puzzles.
Check.
Have I mentioned that it's weird but chill?
Yeah, kind of.
More or less.
Did I mispronounce metamorphosizing?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
then that's
I
all
didn't
my
hear
talking
that.
points.
Perfect. We've absolutely nailed them all, and just in time because we have some harder questions for you. Me and Henry are going to start grilling you. A little game that we like to play on Xbox On called This or That.
I can't think quickly, but I'll try.
Well, you're going to have to think pretty quickly. Henry is going to fire some questions at you, and you can either give us one-word answers, or if you need a minute to think, that's fine. But there's some pretty good questions, I won't lie. Henry's
I'll
nailed
do it as
this.
fast as I can.
Game for it?
Lock
Okay.
in.
Right, let's play This or That with Tim Schafer. First up, Jack Black in Brutal Legend or Jack Black in Psychonauts 2?
Oh, well.
Brutal.
You could put those together.
That
and
was
get
an amazing
Brutal
game.
Legend 2, which is not something we're working on. I'll save it for that.
Would you rather work at the Department of Death as a travel agent, or would you rather work as a Psychonaut?
Psychonaut. It has a lot more personal career growth possibilities.
Psychonaut
than
is
badges,
in our
whereas
list.
Manny had kind of a dead-end job.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as how you'd like to be a Psychonaut, this is a good question. Telekinesis or clairvoyance?
We'll probably play that one
Well, you can do so
because
much
I've
with
had
telekinesis,
one
but
for a
clairvoyance
long
lets you
ass
see how
time
people
now.
see you, which is
and
terrifying,
then
and I don't want to know it. So I'll go
Drackle
telekinesis.
had actually
Good pick.
gifted
Okay,
me the
Rad
second one.
or Raz?
Oh, Lee's game
like
Rad.
a couple of weeks ago or
Post-apocalyptic.
So now I
80s
feel like we
roguelike
really
action
need
game.
to play it.
Or Raz, who's a human being, but fictional. But, I'll go with Raz because he's on Game Pass.
Oh, I like that. Would you rather be a lighthouse or a seabird?
Oh.
Eh,
Well,
Lighthouse.
Seabirds are cool, but lighthouses get pooped on a lot. And in general in life, what I'm saying is you'd rather be the pooper than the thing that gets pooped on. So I'm going seabird.
Unfortunately, I think I agree. I never thought I'd have to agree on that statement, but cool. Do you prefer talking animals or sentient objects, if they were real?
I mean, it depends on the object and the animal. I'd rather know what, like, my cat is thinking than know what my toilet is feeling.
Oh.
And I'd rather my toilet not have any thoughts.
This
about
guy
it.
has good answers.
We're going down a real,
too.
like, theme here right now.
I
This has gone
apologize.
places.
I apologize for the gross examples, you guys. I don't know why.
Never doing this game
It's a
again.
picture of a safe and a rat. I could have gone
so
with that.
done. Fantasy or sci-fi?
Science fiction, sci-fi.
Fantasy.
I like the music better.
I like
Yes, my
fantasy
guy.
better.
Okay, would you rather have tentacles or 2 heads?
2 heads.
Instead of, well, I'm going to go tentacles because 2 heads.
See, I'm
is just
totally
like
opposite of
another
them.
mouth to feed.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Okay. Do you prefer boss fights or platforming?
I
Boss.
like platforming.
Yeah,
on
I'm
the way to the
totally
boss fight.
opposite.
You can have a boss fight at the end, but platforming.
I like
Okay.
boss fight.
Now for the big question.
I think
We're
everything
in Germany,
leading
I
up
have
to the
ask
boss
this.
fights is
Currywurst
boring as
or
shit.
strudel?
Is that what it looks like? They have currywurst and
Yeah, that's the best ones we could find.
One's sweet and one's
That looks
really
like a
goofy
hot
and-
dog.
but The
What
Schaefers
the
come
hell?
from a long line of German sausage makers. No joke.
Right.
So I'm going to have to go with the currywurst.
Okay,
Is
there
it
you go.
Oh, that is
Currywurst.
okay.
I think they'd say currywurst.
You should know.
Yeah.
Hang on, big up the family tree and then say it wrong.
Well, thanks again, Tim. This has been a lot of fun. Remember, guys, Keeper launches on October 17th, 2025, but you guys can wishlist it today. And of course, there is still tons more to come up, including this exciting update from our friends at Square Enix that should make those of you anxiously awaiting an Xbox Ally on October 16th pretty happy. But then, stay put for the latest developments in World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and more on Chronos: The New Dawn. Live from Cologne, Germany, this is Xbox at Gamescom.
Xbox ゲームファンの皆様、こんにちは。スクエアエニックスの浜口です。私がシリーズディレクターを務めるファイナルファンタジー7リメイクが
It wasn't on Xbox yet? Jeez. I thought they already
ファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードでは主人公のクラウドとその仲間たちが世界を支配する
Like 7 is still my favorite game after all these years.
が描かれます。
Yeah.
鋼鉄の都市ミッドガルを舞台に繰り広げら
I
れ
never
る
did
星
play
を
the
巡る
remake
壮大
of
な
it
物語
though.
を
We should.
ぜひその手で体験してみてください。
I just keep
さらに
playing the
本
old
作に
version
忍び
over
の
and
少女
over.
ユフィを主人公とする番外編も収録されているので合わせて楽しんでいただけます。本作は Xbox Play Anywhere に対応していますので Xbox シリーズ X&S、Xbox on PC、さらに Xbox アライ
I'm a little
でも
behind
プレ
in
イ
the
可能です。
Xbox.
いつでもどこでもあなたのスタイルでファイナルファンタジー7の世界へ飛び込んでください。 Xbox 版のファイナルファンタジー
Like, I thought it was
7リメイク
Xbox
インターグレードはこの冬に発売予定です。ウィッシュリストに登録してファイナルファンタジ
But they
ー
always
7リメイ
like
クシ
put
リーズ
out
の
like
新情報を
two
お
other
待ちください。
versions afterwards
それでは
that are the same
Dankeschön.
version but just slimmer. Oh, it's Slash. Never mind. Okay. But they actually said IS, so that's what fucked me up there. What'd that say? I'm into fitness, whole hot dog in mouth. Wow. Wow. The sad part is those hot dog competitions or any food competitions, they do actually call that a sport. Like, I think that is so ridiculous. Probably play this. I miss soccer games. I didn't play them a whole lot, but I would play them because I used to play soccer in real life. So they were, you know, that one sports game that I played that I really related to, you know? Football, it's soccer. Soccer, you EU
You just saw
people.
the world premiere trailer for Freestyle Football 2 here on Xbox at Gamescom. Now you're right on time to learn about all that's new in World of Warcraft. As I talk with World of Warcraft Senior Game Director Ian Hazakostas and Associate Director Paul Cubit about the exciting
I didn't think we'd
updates
be
in
at
store
the
for
wild
players.
part yet.
Now, first of all,
Thought they'd
all right,
leave
Paul,
that till the
welcome
end
to
of
the
the
show
show.
for the first time.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and Ian, welcome back as well. Like, you were here last year revealing the World Soul Saga with the War Within. Welcome back.
Time for Chapter 2. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, I can't believe I've seen your booth. I'm going to say it. I think you probably got one of the best booths at Gamescom. I was walking around earlier and was like blown away by it.
I'm biased, but you're not wrong.
Yeah,
It's super cool.
yeah, it's really, really cool, especially some of the updates.
Well,
that
should
we're gonna
hope
be
so.
talking throughout this segment about.
Like a
but you kicked things off
21-year
last
game.
night, with
Should
Opening
be
Night
the
Live,
best booth
and that
there.
cinematic. Could you kind of explain for people that need to know about what that kind of showed, what's happened up to that moment?
Sure. I guess a little bit of a story so far for the World Soul Saga. So yeah, gist of the story of War Within. So heroes around Azeroth began hearing these voices, seeing visions, these like dark omens, from messages from the World Soul herself.
I'm just
about,
gonna say,
darkness coming. That
you
led
know,
to a
coming
surprise
from a
attack on the
straight
city of
woman
Dalaran,
and all.
the destruction of our beloved
Is
city
it
of
just
Dalaran.
me,
And
or does she look
the nature of the threat
better
facing us being revealed?
in
This powerful entity known as
Midnight?
Xalata.
It's almost
So
like
over the course of the World
it's
Soul
almost
Saga,
like
over the
she
course of
got
the
a
War Within,
makeover
we've been
or
trying to
something,
kind of keep
and
up with
she
her. She's
looks
been one step
a
ahead of us along the
lot
way.
better in
At the
Midnight
culmination of the War
than
Within,
in
as
War
we just
Within.
discovered,
Which
she kind of
is kind
ascended
of crazy
to
because
a
she
new
already
tier
looks
of
good in
power
War Within.
and is finally poised
Yeah,
to really
Exalita's
unleash
like my
the power
favorite
of the
right
void
now. I
upon
love that
Azeroth.
chick, man.
Yep, and that leads us directly into what we saw in the trailer yesterday, which is Xalatath and her devouring host at the gates of the Sunwell, ready to threaten everything that's dear to us, and our beloved elves, Lorthamar, Liadrin, and the rest of them all mounting a defense along with an intercession from the Sunwell itself. Super exciting stuff. That is the beginning of the expansion, which you saw in the trailer there, and that leads directly into the story.
Yeah, I still can't get over last
Which
year
is
with the VR
that right there is
experience with
probably the
Destruction of
reason we
Dalaran.
won't quit
But,
is because I do
that was one of my
always
favorite
love
cities
the story.
in the old expansions.
And I'm
But we're
always
also
gonna
returning
wanna
to some
experience
areas
the
that players are
stories.
going to really know. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, if Dalaran was one of your favorite cities, it was one of mine too. Wait till you see Silvermoon V2 in Midnight. So we are, going to be returning to, among other areas, the old Blood Elven lands, first introduced in Burning Crusade, fully reimagined and expanded now. It's Eversong Woods, the Ghostlands, and of course Silvermoon City. Still, a Horde city at heart with some Horde-only districts, but under these pressing circumstances, they have opened their gates to the Alliance to mount this final stand against Xalatath's forces.
Yep, and that's just the first of the zones that we have. After that, you'll head into Zulaman, City of the Trolls, the Amani Trolls. We first saw Zulaman back in Burning Crusade era as in the form of a raid, but it's been expanded into this enormous zone now. Everything in that zone is big. It's sort of like a primordial Pacific Northwest. Everything's a little wet too. A very, very cool space. We also have Herondar, home of the Heronir. This is, the Heronir we met during the War Within. They're a race who are sort of this enigmatic, elf-like race. We don't know a whole lot about them. We're going to learn a lot more once we go to Herondar and learn that not all of them are as welcoming as the few we've met, Orwena and her crew in the War Within. And lastly, we're going to go into the Voidstorm. This is basically Xalatath's space of operations where she is mounting her attack against Azeroth. We find our way into the Voidstorm and take the fight to her and the Devouring Host. Super exciting, a bunch of beautiful zones.
Yeah, I can't actually wait for Zulaman again. I still have memories of just the endless attempts of trying to get the Amani Warbear with that speed trial. So it's going to be really fun to go back. And of course, go to Silvermoon as an Alliance player. It'll be fun. But with all these new areas, what are some of the activities that people are going to get into when they go there?
Well, the first, I think, is you're going to have the campaign.
See, and that is
a new campaign.
That's the funniest part about WoW, is how much you want to bet that guy doesn't play anymore. Every time someone talks about WoW, they talk about the first 6 years of it. Something they did, something that existed in vanilla BC Wrath. And never do they talk about something that happened past those expansions. And that's the average WoW person. Most people, I think a lot of people have played WoW, more than what we see as numbers, on sites and stuff. But most people left. Yeah, and it's just memories of old content.
That takes you through these zones, and it does so in an interesting way. You'll start by going into the city of Silvermoon and then into Eversong Woods. But after that, players are presented with a choice.
And that's because the grind wasn't
Do they want to go to those
bad
two of those other zones I mentioned? Go straight to Zulaman and learn a little bit more about the Amani Trolls, what's going on there. Do they want to go into Herondar and learn about the Heronir? Or do they want to go on a third chapter of the campaign, which is actually a little bit different? It is not tied to any particular zone, but it takes you to some of the older places in the world, places like Light's Hope Chapel, places like Strathholm, a couple other interesting places as well. And in that quest line, you'll be working alongside Eritor, son of Turalian and Ilaria, and helping him sort of interrogate his relationship with the light. Really interesting chapter. After you complete those 3 chapters, those 2 zones in the Eritor chapter, then you move into Voidstorm. This is all in the interest of giving players a choice of which storyline is most interesting to them. And it's all done in a way which also leads you through a couple different delves. You'll play through a couple delves as part of the campaign, and a couple dungeons as well. And culminating with the campaign leading you directly into a couple of our raids. And those are some really interesting dungeons and raids we have put together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as of course, alongside the zones, full complement of our bread and butter features for group gameplay, delves, dungeons, and you'll note that Paul said raids, plural. So I think we were kind of breaking from recent tradition
Not gonna
in
lie,
Midnight.
I was hoping
and our
delves
initial
were
season
over
is
in
going to have
Midnight.
not one, not two, but 3 separate raid zones for a variety of environments, a variety of foes that will kind of unfold themselves over the course of season 1.
I actually love that because
I knew there was a good chance they weren't,
that
they were here
it's nice
forever,
to have that
but
variety hopping in. But the
I was
players that
hoping.
are hopping in for the first time, right? Because I think the World Soul Saga has been great at bringing in new players and also returning players. What kind of features have you got for them to hop back in?
Yes, so I think we want to make sure that, whether you've played War Within and you're ready for the next chapter, or whether you're coming to World of Warcraft for the very first time or coming back from some long time away, that you can jump back in, understand what's going on, and join the action. And so we have a revamped and reimagined new player and returning player experience. The leveling experience seamlessly incorporates both Dragonflight and War Within content to get you fully caught up to speed.
You
For
know,
returning players,
they always say this, but the number one complaint that I hear people say, and mainly I see in my comment section on videos, is that they last like an hour or two because it's not very inviting for new players. Yeah. That it's, no matter what they do, I think it's just, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter because they could get past this point, this beginning point, and get into the city, and then they're overwhelmed at that point. They're overwhelmed, they don't know which way to go, and they quit. Yeah.
to maybe a higher level but not quite ready to go straight to Midnight, we have a new experience set in Arathi Highlands that's going to kind of get you back up to speed on your mechanics, recontextualize you in the story of the world, and send you on your way so that you can join the fight in Midnight.
Yep, we've also added a catch-up quest line for the War Within. So sort of going into Midnight, if you never played the War Within, or if it's just been a little while and you want a refresher, you can play through all the major beats of that story in one quest line. It should not take the couple dozen hours that it would normally take to play through all 6 zones that make up that quest line. But it'll be a couple quick hours to go through all the big cinematics, all the major beats. And by the time you're done, you should know everything that happened from the beginning of the Isle of Dorn to the end of Ghosts of Koresh, and be fully up to speed to hop right into Midnight.
Yeah, no, that's amazing as well, because it kind of.
And I like for a new player that they are giving them the whole story, but I'm just gonna say, you're fucking yourselves over, because, and this is something else I've learned in my comment section of some of my older videos, is that the more you skip, the more stuck you are later when you need to complete something. Yeah. I've literally had to go heavily research updates on old shit to guide people on some of my old videos, because due to the chromie skip and all that, if you skip certain quest lines, there is stuff you can never get done unless you go back and find those quest lines. Yeah. And it's a problem they're never gonna solve, because the way to solve it is to remove the fast leveling. Put it back to how it was, where you had to do expansion by expansion. But people don't want to take the time to do that, right? So hence the speeded up version, but it just ends up being frustrating to them later on in the game.
It's a bit more welcoming as well, to kind of drag one of your friends to hop in and play with you and explore that, which I'm excited about. But there is one feature, and it kind of goes back to your booth as well, right, that has been requested for so long, and we've got to touch it now. I was watching it as well, your Creator Clash earlier. Player housing. Can you let us know what we're going to experience with that?
Absolutely, yeah. We are super excited for people to start stepping into housing. Housing has been a feature which has been in development internally for a long time. We've been sharing little details as we've been developing it over the last year or so. Here at Gamescom, people are finally able to hop in and start playing with the decor, playing with those systems for the first time. What housing is you can have your own little corner of Azeroth. If you play both Horde and Alliance, you can have a Horde home and an Alliance home and start decorating those spaces.
It's only good if you can place it wherever
or
the
you'll
fuck
start
you
with
want.
the generous, creative decor that the system sort of just gives you, but then you go explore the world. You might find vendors who sell some interesting tchotchkes here and there. You
And
might
even
work
then,
with
I'd
other
still
crafters
next
on
to
your
never
server
be
who
in
can
it.
make some interesting furniture for you. But you take all those things, you collect them, and then express yourself in a way that we think is, really just lets players
Not unless you can
express
see
themselves however they
trade.
want.
Yeah, really, I think
If it works
boundless
like the
self-expression
Garrison.
is really, it's like a hallmark design pillar of the feature. We kind of threw out the entire rule book here, including gravity. If you want a table that floats in midair, you want a table that's upside down, you can do it. I think we really wanted to unleash players' creativity to make their houses the full expression of their personality. And it's not just a single house that is your own, you're also going to be part of a neighborhood community. So you wanted to make sure when designing this feature that it didn't feel solitary if you didn't want it to be. That you were kind of connected, there's reasons for others to come into your home, for you to go into theirs, and for you to feel like part of a group.
I like that he says it that way because a lot of people complain, oh, it's just going to be like the Garrison. Yeah, it's going to be, even with what he just said, because what a lot of people never realized and always blamed WoW for is that people do prefer to be alone. A lot of people are going to take that option. And it will end up being like the Garrison because that's who you tailor to a lot now in WoW is solo players. Yeah, so you'll have like raiders and M+ people that maybe are part of a neighborhood, but majority of the players are not gonna fuck around with neighborhood. They're gonna do their own home and be solo with it. Yeah. I think it won't be as bad as the Garrison because some people will choose neighborhoods, right? But it will still feel kind of half like it.
Oh, that's amazing. Also, for people that have been playing for a long time, so it's one of the first things I wanted to know when I heard about player housing coming in. Been playing since the Burning Crusade. Am I going to have some extra cool bits to add into my house for that?
You should, yeah. If you've been playing for decades, as it sounds like you have, then yeah, there's plenty of achievements that you would automatically have completed that would grant you decor. If you've advanced your professions, you may have access to build some of those things that would take other people a little bit more time to get those professions to the point where they can build that particular piece of decor. So yeah, we want to make sure that people who've been playing for a while are rewarded for that play. Of course, this also comes along with that we don't want to have any of that be exclusive. So if you are just coming into World of Warcraft for the first time in Midnight, none of those should be opportunities that were only accessible to you in 2008 and they're gone. Anybody can go back and get that.
I think you should have some of those.
I can already tell, Sam from our team will be hanging a warglaive up above his door, without a doubt.
It's like, let's be real. Who would see it? What's wrong with that? Unless it's someone that makes a video. But aside from that, who's coming into your house? What's the problem with having a rare can't get today item because you played for fucking 20 years, I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's probably a killer for a lot of long time. To be fair, I don't think player housing is going to be used as much as, people are hoping.
But one of the big things as well, right? People aren't going to have to wait for the launch at midnight to get their hands on player housing, are they?
No, they are not. Player housing will actually be coming before midnight in our final War Within patch, 11.2.7, coming later this year. So anyone who owns Midnight at that point can claim their first house, begin decorating it, and all players, even if you don't yet own Midnight, can start building their collection of decor, though you will need the expansion to actually have a house to put it in.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm excited for it, but what's next for the team? Now you've kind of announced Midnight,
It's
showing
actually
the cinematic trailer. What's next?
That's actually smart because then if it launches, at first I was like, it's stupid that they're even allowing it when it's a huge Midnight feature. Just put it with the actual release of Midnight. But because I'm a content creator, the way I look at it is it gives a chance to do content on player housing, and then you go into the story. Same with like if you're just a player, you get your house up to par, and then when midnight releases, you're just ready to go do the campaign, and you don't have to worry about your fucking house, right? Yeah, that's you know, yeah. If I decide to keep going, that's what I will do. Like I'll just do up the house once, never touch it again, and then, you know, just add to it. Like, that's how I said I would do it, like, you know, a year ago too, you know? Like, I'm not really a big player housing person. Like, it's not something I ever asked for, you know? Yeah. I have, like, when it comes to player housing, I just play, like, Animal Crossing and Disney if I want player housing. And you'll see that eventually you will see cuddly stuff in that player housing. Like, player housing always ends up turning into a kid zone, more or less. Yeah, you will see that in World of Warcraft. Like, we already see them adding, like, more cutesy stuff, and yeah. I always laugh about that because people always, you know, they would always make comments in WoW saying, well, just go play Animal Crossing. It's like, you got it now. Yeah, you're right in there. Yeah, choke on your words.
I mean, excited to get back and kind of finish this game. We're gonna be talking very soon about our first public alpha tests and then a larger beta to follow. And all of this, you know, getting player feedback, helping polish the game, and building towards a release in early 2026.
Yep, and we're going to be here at Gamescom all week as well. Ian and Maria Hamilton will be talking tomorrow about some of the characters and zones within the expansion.
Good, because we need gameplay.
And later on in the weekend, and
all they're talking about is player housing. Like, it needs some actual gameplay.
Yeah, I was going to ask about, like, what else can players get involved, like viewers get involved in with World of Warcraft, because you've got so much going on. We mentioned the creator clash earlier. Are there more shows out today? The streams people can go watch as well afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. There's, I think, various live events going on from our stage all week, and then, you know, we're going to keep rolling information out. I think, you know, this yesterday was the beginning of just letting people know what we've been up to, and we're going to have more and more information and opportunities to engage. We'll have, you know, videos, streams, and more just coming all through the fall.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't say thank you enough. Like, from coming on the show last year to talking to us midnight today, Paul, Ian, thank you so much. And also, from tons of new titles coming to Xbox Game Pass, the Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated on Xbox, we've already witnessed so much cool stuff here on day one of Gamescom, and we're not done yet. We're about to get down and dirty with everyone's favorite archaeology professor, but first, let's refresh with a quick power wash break.
Oh, I thought they said Pal Wash. I'm like, did Pal World get a new game? So was the whole place just, like, dirty?
Gosh, it's just so strangely satisfying. And hey, if you happen to
It is, and all I
any
needed was a
artifacts in the
trailer.
mud,
We
then
don't need
I
to
know
talk
just
about
who
it.
to call. Indiana Jones fans, get ready to take on new challenges of impressive proportions. Talking my head all over again. I can't wait.
Nice.
Well, Axel, it's been so much fun chatting all things Order of Giants. Congratulations again on the main game. Can't wait to play it, and maybe we should go over to the Indiana Jones.
I'm trying my best to make our stream time for the future.
Thank you, guys.
It is scheduled
from
for
ourselves
2 hours.
here at the Xbox at Gamescom broadcast.
Where are we
have
sitting
a
in?
very special edition of the official Call of Duty
Hey, might
podcast.
make it.
But first, we're about to fall into the disturbing world of Chronos: The New Dawn. the latest nightmare from Bluebird team. I can't wait to play. Let's join the Traveler in their fight to survive and enjoy some never-before-seen gameplay.
Hello, my name is Wojciech Pinko and I'm a game director of Chronos The New Dawn. And today I'll be your guide through the abandoned factory, which actually was a ground zero for the disease, the change that wiped out humanity. So let's quickly bind weapons to shortcuts. And let's go. In Chronos you can break crates to find more loot, which will be really important. And the first enemy. No signs of life. I think we are safe.
Kill him
so
anyway.
Let's move forward.
Kill him anyway. What if he grabs your leg?
And these guys are definitely alive. Combat in Chronos may be quite challenging, and the enemies can hit hard. And merge, yeah, that shot prevented the merge. And the biomass can also spawn monsters, so be aware wherever you are. And this guy also wanted to merge, but not on our watch. Let's use the flamethrower to interrupt the merge, stun the enemy, and finish him off with the shotgun. We are calling it the Hammer. And the new one. I think this one is, yeah, it's the Puker. He has a range attack, so let's get far away.
The Puker?
Use a barrel to destroy the enemy's deck. Using environment is also super important. Don't forget that you can also charge your weapons. So please notice that the Traveler sometimes presses the trigger to fire a single bullet, but also sometimes charges it, so the bullet will have more damage, but will also got a piercing ability. Of course, I'm talking right now about the pistol. The shotgun works different. The shotgun increases the spread when you're charging the weapon. And the big guy just woke up. This is the charging, yeah, the weapon has been charged, and we got hit. Let's switch weapon to the submachine gun. The big guy wants to merge, so yeah, again, using a flamethrower to interrupt the merge. Remember, don't let them merge. Use also the
I always hated
set in
killing
the environment,
bosses in areas
the
like
is
this.
Gone.
Yeah, it's so easy to get stuck in an area or not have
It's worth to exploring the
run
area
space.
to find supply boxes left by the collective and other travelers. So the trick is that the collective is sending only one traveler at a time, to not too much with the time flow, since they
That
are
looked
of
like
course
it was
jumping
just
in
a
time.
trash mob. But
So the game, starts when your predecessor went off radar, and then you are picking up his mission. Let's squeeze through, and I can hear some monsters. Oh, and the soul, the essence of someone we extracted before is talking to us. Oh, the Joe grabbed us. We called this monster Joe. It's basically like a sticking or being attached to a wall, ceilings, and it can grab you as a traps. But you can hear them always, yeah, there is one more. And now, he will not grab us. We can safely loot the place. Less biomass, a good sign. Oh no, there is more. And we can hear roars, so more jaws will be here. So let's squeeze in and look for them. Yeah, there's one. Charge shot.
I hear another buddy.
And more grows means that the area isn't clear yet. Yes. One more charge shot, one more down. And I don't hear them anymore. I think this sector is clear. So we can grab more ammo. And let's go back. Oh, this one has spikes on its body. It means that, yeah, it's more powerful than previous monsters. He hit really hard. Reposition is a key to victory in Chronos. Yeah, you need to act fast. Yeah, charge your weapons like this. That was a juicy shot. And the shower area. This body has a tentacles on it. It means that it may be absorbed by the other monsters. And here they come. Let's grab a flamethrower ammo. Oh yeah. Now we can interrupt merge again. And stomp. Still alive? Not for long.
Stomp him.
The gates are detecting monsters and they are sometimes closing you with them, but if you dispatch them, the gates will open. Those gates are also built by other travelers to lock some areas infested by the monsters. Oh, and we are in more open space. There are some tents left here by the military that was trying to fight with the outbreak of the disease. And there is a barrel. I will use it to burn the biomass and get in the secret area. Shell patch. This is like a health pack and a lot of loot. And here comes the armored enemy. Its body is covered with the armor, so you need to aim at the exposed parts. Oh yeah, you can see that the bullets are bouncing off the armor, but I think the chest is exposed, so yeah, let's use it against him. And this stand seems clear. So as a traveler, you must constantly be aware of your surroundings. Like loot every place you can. Also, you can craft some ammunition, for example.
Yeah, that's me. Capacity.
We need to make a space for more crafting materials. So yeah, torch fuel also will be needed.
In these kind of games, though, I take it as a severe compliment when I've reached capacity, because that means I'm doing so good in the game, I'm not using my shit.
Into the rest of the factory. Isolation zone. Doesn't sound good. I think that's a great place to stop. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm still interested.
It's time to wake up.
This is probably just another IGN commercial. It probably is not Call of Duty specific.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Okay, maybe it was.
Welcome everyone to the crossover event of the century. That's right, folks, the official Call of Duty podcast, the COD Pod, and we are back taking over.
I like Call of Duty. I play them,
the Xbox
but I don't
know how
want to
they let
listen
this
to your
happen,
fucking
but we're in,
podcast.
baby. My name is Miles Ross. I'm the host of the COD Pod, joined as ever by my partner in crime at Activision, Stephanie Snowden.
What's going on here?
Miles, we took the COD Pod on the road all the way to Portland. It's my first time at Gamescom.
Man, they
it's
go on
been
for a while.
awesome because the official reveal
hate
of Black Ops
podcasts
7
in
happened
general.
last
They're
night
just way
at
too
Opening Night Live, and it was incredible.
It was a big one, and we have a huge amount of information to get through today about Black Ops 7. Tons of juicy details, and
well, we
wonderful
already
tidbits of
watched
gameplay. We're not going to do it
Ninja
alone, though. More on that later.
Yeah, we've got some special guests joining us later in this show. But yes, at ONL, we got the very first...
drawn on like mysterious, like actual real historical elements like MK Ultra, numbers stations, various geopolitical events. Where are you drawing your inspiration for Black Ops 7 this time, now that it's set in the kind of future?
Did it end?
Oh, I love that
question.
question.
That says
Well,
replay
it is
now.
the near future,
It didn't say replay
and
earlier,
we're
right?
also building
No.
on Black Ops 2. So there's sort of an extrapolation of where we'll be in the next 10 years.
Oh, shit.
And also where
Yeah.
we've been.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
you're
it's in
absolutely
a
right. We like
replay.
to tap into the zeitgeist, and I
Yeah,
think for
that-
us, it's really
we
the
watched
sphere
that
of
part.
really the world.
Okay, I think we're ready
on
for
itself
future
is
game
fearful,
show then.
and really that's being
I
pushed. and
forgot
Black
that
Ops 7 really
they
leans
probably
into that
would have
fear
done a
is
replay.
when the
That-
world
that
is in a
definitely
chaotic
lowers this
state and you
video.
don't know who to trust, even yourself.
awesome.
Which I feel is very, relatable.
I'm gonna
That's
just
the main
swap
story
the
that we're diving
screen.
into, and
Actually,
you're gonna get all
we
your twists
have
and turns and
to,
your mind bending like you would expect from Black Ops.
We have to actually stop YouTube because I got it situated as 2. So if you're watching or lurking in YouTube, we're gonna stop the stream. But as soon as I see it actually stopped on YouTube, we're gonna start up the next one, which is the future game show. So see ya in a bit, maybe. Twitch and Kick, you'll be fine. We're not stopping Twitch and Kick, just YouTube because I make pictures for everything. So. Bye YouTube.